like he like has a relationship with YouTube, and it's like, but he what was I gonna say? Like he's paying like 100 people. Have you seen his fucking studio?
Yeah, dude, his
studio
tour is so insane.
It's a little much for a YouTube channel, Marquez. Love your videos.
I
but
want
Jesus
to work
Christ.
there. I would like
absolutely
to work there.
I would kill to work there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like it's so he's paying like hundreds of people. And like you don't want to kill that relationship with YouTube and randomly have YouTube stop recommending your videos or something out of spite or pity or
that's kind of pettiness. What happened with Pewds, right? A little.
Yeah, kind of.
It's like so. Pewds was just too edgy that they were like, okay, we're gonna tie our relationships.
Yeah, and
but
so
then
like
I think they amended it, so it's just a weird thing. Of
I don't
like,
know what the deal with that is.
YouTube is not managed by complete lizards. There are people there too. They make active decisions. It's sometimes they're just shitty decisions.
Yeah, but it's like you don't want just randomly like that income to go away. You have like a responsibility to not fuck that up, and I totally respect that. It is a little weird though that YouTube like directly said that. That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
The thing I hate the most about it though, the thing I hate the most about the dislike button, because hello everybody, welcome to Fanboy Talk. This is Trevor 17.
We are recording.
We're recording.
The dislike button.
We're talking about the dislike button on YouTube. The thing I hate the most about it, and this is such a petty, stupid thing, when you're watching a video, the word dislike next to the button is longer than the like count.
Yeah, so it draws your eye more.
It looks like, oh shit, this is a very bad video.
It's really strange, yeah.
It has that same vibe as when you click on a tutorial video that is like wrong or doesn't work or whatever, which like that's the reason we need the dislike button. It's very stupid, but it gives the vibe of like, oh, did like the majority of people dislike this? Which like I guess could inspire people to like it. I guess, you know, to be like, oh, I gotta fix this, you know, because it's my favorite YouTuber or whatever. But I don't know. That's my hot take with the like button or dislike button.
What they should have done, and I don't love Reddit, but what they should have done is what Reddit does, where it's like just a like button, the 1K, and then a dislike button. So all you see is just the amount of likes, you know, and that's it.
Well, and so I remember I was on Reddit when they made this decision. Reddit used to show both. Reddit used to, and I don't use Reddit anymore because I moved to Spider-Man Twitter, and then now I don't. But we'll talk about that later. Reddit used to show both of them. Reddit used to show up the upvotes and the downvotes, and they changed it for, I don't remember the reason. I think it was just simplicity and stuff, and like to kind of help with like a hive mind, like to, you know, I don't fully remember the reason, but then they changed it to just showing I think it's the total number now. It's not the number of upvotes. It's a downvote will lower the number. Yeah. You know? And people were mad because like, okay, well, how can you tell the difference between something with just 2 upvotes and something with 200 upvotes and 198 downvotes, you know? And so then they added like a little like controversial thing in the corner.
Yeah, I think I remember something like that. I just never was on Reddit during this time.
Yeah. And like, I think really what it should be, if you don't want to show the number, I think that's fine. I think it should be optional. It's always been optional, but it's like you can set the option as default and stuff. But like really what it should be is it should still show the bar. I think the bar, just from a visual standpoint, it's like, oh shit, I see a bunch of red when I'm looking up this tutorial video. This is probably a scam, or this is probably like a virus, or it doesn't work anymore or something, so I shouldn't waste my time with this. Because
that is not an extremely indicative like number.
You don't see the you know, like, and like their reasoning was fucking, they say
it was
it's
horseshit.
For mental health.
It was horseshit. It was
horseshit. Yeah, because it's like I still see my dislike count, and it sucks. In fact, it makes it worse.
We protect our creators. That's this option doesn't stop your creators from seeing it.
Every creator has been like, wait, this is not the case. Yeah, and so it's just to protect like companies when they make shitty ads. So yeah, it's very stupid. And everybody's talked about it to death, but it's like, what the fuck? The fuck?
Yeah.
You know? I just, this platform.
This platform is great. It's awesome. It's amazing. Great.
We love it. Everybody's, hey, YouTube algorithm, please recommend our podcast more.
Yeah. Please
we should start clipping stuff. That's what I want to start doing.
We should. Like, yeah, that would be fun.
Like maybe like, I don't know. I don't want to bother the people who are subscribed to this account, but like maybe like post, I don't know. That's a lot of effort on my end, though. What if we just post clips to? How much clip posting to Twitter really works? I don't know if we want as many Twitter. I don't think so. I mean, I guess any talk is always good. any discussion about you, whether it be good or bad, unless if the bad is like hate crime stuff or like awful things.
Yep.
Like people who call you cringe. Like, okay, I'll talk about him because I love him. Soups. Fucking love Soups now. The coolest dude in the world. Holy shit, Soups is the best.
Because of his Spider-Man ranking? Because of his Spider-Man ranking that
I didn't see that. I didn't see that. But no, because he came to watch my video. Did I tell you this?
You didn't tell me. All I know, because I was out of town the whole week, so I didn't talk with a lot of people. All I saw was that Soups was in your chat, and then High Top was in our Nightcast chat.
And
not
just like okay, he showed up and then left. Dude was fucking watching it. Dude was watching that whole video and reacting and shit. It's rad. I love that guy now. I fucking adore him. He's my favorite guy.
What do you think of the video? So cool. Did he say what he thought?
He said W, which we'd love to see a dub.
Yeah.
He said he called me the GOAT, which is rad. Love to see that. Thank you, Soups. You're the real GOAT. Yeah. He said a couple others. He was really chill. He seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah. Like I clown on him because the reactions are funny. But the reactions are funny because it's fun to watch.
I used to think that they're not genuine, and I actually think they are genuine, and I really respect that.
I think a good amount of them are genuine. I think a good amount of it's just kind of funny to see someone yell when they show a Batman shirt, and that's funny. But it's like he's making entertaining content.
He's making and also it's like what I was thinking is just like the reason I brought it up is because like people would show his clips and be like, oh my god, this is too much. Oh god, this guy's so cringe and whatever. Yep. But guess what? They're talking about him, and then that's leading to let's say more fucking 2%. Yeah, let's say there's a tweet with like 10,000 likes of like, oh my god, look at how cringe this guy is. 2% of people will be like, oh my god, I need to watch the full video because this is just so fucking insane. And then they realize, oh, that's the whole thing. That's really funny, and they just subscribe, and there he is. That's how he's big, and like. He's created a presence and he's created like relationships with companies, and it's really fucking rad.
He is brand friendly as hell.
He's very
and I feel like some people take that negatively. That's still a good thing because that promotes relationships between brands and YouTubers. So then brands will reach out to more YouTubers in general. That's how YouTube became brand friendly in general.
I've got no issue with people that are. I've got no issue with people that are brand friendly. I have an issue with people that fake themselves to be brand friendly. That's my always And I tweeted this, and then some people got mad at me for it, but it didn't blow up, so it was nice. I tweeted it a long time ago, back when the No Way Home trailer came out. Of like, the trailer came out and like nothing really happened, right? The trailer didn't have any huge reveals and stuff. And then I go and I see all these reactions with these crazy like whoa faces in them, and I'm just like, what the fuck could have caused a reaction like that? Genuinely, and I'm like, so many of these reactions feel super disingenuous. Obviously some of them are, and I love those ones, hell yeah, positivity, fucking rock, Soups, cool as hell. But like some of them are very clearly like, I just need to have a big reaction to make a YouTube video, and it's like not that interesting to me.
It's the ones when they say exclusively the names. Jack's Films made fun of it like 4 years ago when he was like,
that's the guy from Marvel, he invented the comics.
That's a Stan Lee. That's a Stan. And it's like, okay, yeah, all right, cool, we get it. And I think
just listing.
It's funny how some people still do that, Yeah. There was one that I don't know who did it, but it was like a Twitch streamer, and like this guy, this was the first trailer. When the Green Goblin bomb showed up, he just freaked out and like broke his chair. It was the funny shit because he was just like running around his room, and I was like,
but it's like even, like that reaction makes sense because that was the first time we saw that he was going to be in the movie.
Exactly,
because he wasn't at that point. He wasn't,
and that guy also did not follow that guy. It was a surprise to him too. He didn't know anything other than maybe Alfred Molina is going to be in the movie.
Yeah, and like I see I get like that type of like, I don't want to say casual fan, but like people that like don't follow the news and the rumors and shit get really excited about Alfred Molina and Lizard and Electro and stuff. But then when it's like news sources that I know were reporting on leaks, and
who get like excited over
YouTube accounts that were like very clearly like talking about things and know things, it's like, really? I know that you knew about this, and it's just not a huge enough reveal to have confirmed. Like, I love TASM 1. I really like TASM 1 a lot. Is Hassan, come at me. Is the lizard that big of a fucking deal? Does the lizard matter that much that people are going to go, we need a clip moments, that's a clip moment. Lizard! And like, Hassan, and if you do, cool. If you do, cool. But that many people? So many people freaking out about it? Really?
Yeah.
You know?
I think the lesson to take from this little segment is Troy hates Hassan, and we're gonna have a boxing match.
Yeah, fuck you, Hassan. Fight me in a TASM commentary. I dare you. Yeah, debate me.
Debate me.
Let's go.
Yeah. Oh,
famous homophobe debate.
Homophobe.
Every time I make that joke, I'm gonna mention that he's homophobic. Piece of shit,
yeah, you gotta do the Pete Davidson thing. You have to do the Pete Davidson thing.
How the fuck? Can I just talk about that really quick? How do people just forget about that? How the fuck did people forget about like obviously he didn't like.
I think it's also because people. I do think it's also because people kind of forgot about DaBaby as well.
That's
like,
fair.
How many people make DaBaby memes these days?
That's so true.
I feel like if they brought DaBaby memes back,
Lil Nas did when the album came out. He made this like fucking.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Did you see that video before the album was coming out?
I didn't see the video. I just
so you know how the marketing was like how he was pregnant and the album was his baby.
Yeah. Yep.
Like,
yeah.
Which is the fucking best. I love Lil Nas.
Yeah.
He made the day the album came out. The day before, he posted this like little short, like 30-second clip of him giving birth.
Yeah, I think I saw that where he's like in a hospital or something.
Yeah, and everybody's like, it's the baby, let's go. And they just went, and it was like my favorite fucking thing.
Yeah. Did you see the Maury thing that he did? He did like an episode of Maury where he acts like he's like he acts like the music video he did for that one thing where he like makes up with the footballer. What's that song?
Oh, Somebody Love Me, or I think
somebody. Yeah. For
that's
that
what
one.
No, that's what I want. That's what it is.
That's what I want. Yeah. He acts like that music album, video is real.
I fucking love that song. Fucking love that album.
That's probably my favorite on the album. Yeah. But they do like an actual episode of Maury. That's like, you know how like when sometimes they do skits, it's like you can tell that it's fake. This one they like shot extra footage and stuff. With the actors and stuff to make it like an actual Maury episode where he's like, yeah, I'm in love with this footballer, but then I found out he has a wife and a kid, but the wife and kid don't know, and I don't even think the child is his. And it's like a whole episode of Maury.
That's fun.
I never watched the full thing, but it's like they spent time on it, and I think that's cool. Kind of cool that in a world where all these things are extremely inauthentic, that was like I think promotion.
Like this is like the reason that I'm like such a big fan of Lil Nas and Doja, and like those two are the only ones that are coming to mind, but like other people is like. You can tell when they're like clearly in love with what they do. They love the music that they make or any art that they make. And they're also just like having fun making stuff with other people versus like sometimes with a lot of really big music people, especially music, but it's like any industry. It feels like they're just there to do an ad sometimes when they collaborate, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, and it's like, I get it, you know, but I always prefer like with late night stuff, with talk show stuff. The second Conan stopped. And rest in peace, Conan. Love Conan. He's not dead, but rest in peace.
He's not coming back for a bit. I believe.
But the second that Conan switched from like doing like standard late night talk show, people with a show or movie come on to like advertise for it, and instead it was just like these are my friends and they're gonna come on and we're gonna talk. That show went to a whole other fucking level of just quality entertainment, you know? And I think people now are attracted to that like genuineness instead of these like very forced collaborations, you know? It's the same with YouTube stuff too. Like you remember like back in the day with like before Nostalgia Critic was a piece of shit. I mean, he was always a piece of shit, but like before we knew about it, like with those like very scripted
where skits would do well. Skits used to do really well. I mean,
yes. Yeah.
And I think Smosh kind of defined that because Smosh was the first thing, and it defined the idea of, and I'm fuck him because he's a huge piece of shit. But Shane Dawson also, where like his skits were ass, but like also they were popular because it was like the idea of, oh, I'm coming here for like a comedy sketch that like I would watch. And
it's a matter of like we wrote a script and now we're gonna film a script and like, and I think it was the same with like old Jack's Film stuff too, where he would collaborate with people, and they were very fun videos. So those old Jack's Films are great, but it's like. Now, when you think about like what good collaborations are, you think of like Danny and Drew, of just like those fucking people. They don't script those things. They just show up at the house and watch stupid things and make fun of them. And it's such a more like genuine thing, and that's why I like to. Yeah, a
lot of people sometimes think Jack's Films is cringe, but I of all the YouTubers on the platform, he is the one that has aged the best.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the only one that like has evolved his content.
He's like the Conan of YouTube.
He really is, yeah.
Where
he puts effort into
he's
like
not
all
always funny, but he
Conan is always funny. Hang on.
That's
Conan
okay. That's true. That's true. There are some Conan bits where I'm like, okay, cool.
Some of them don't age well in Conan, but like they were always funny at the time.
Yeah, I think because for me with Jack, it's like he started off like you can say Pewds and like Jacksepticeye and other people also age, but their content has always been similar or the same, you know?
Yeah.
Like their content, like, yes. It
was always gaming.
Pewds, it's either gaming or it's some kind of commentary. It's always some form of genuine and just because they grab that market.
Yeah, and I think that's...
Whereas with Jack, he evolves and it's like he went from like being in like Tobuscus videos and shit and being like with that group.
Speaking of pieces of shit, there he is.
Yeah. Pay your taxes, I guess.
Jesus, but dude, the downfall of that fucking guy... Yeah. Holy shit!
Is the funniest thing.
The way you go from like the accusations against him, fucking awful piece of shit from to begin with, and then the way he went from like sympathize with me, please feel bad for me, to fucking full on Trump supporter, like total white supremacist, in like the span of like a year of like, kind of whoa, where the fuck did that come from? Of just the like it's insane to me, you know.
It's a great decline.
I'm of the opinion of like if you were accused of something, if you believe you didn't do it, which he very clearly did, you know, I'm fully believing in the accusers and the victims and shit.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to defend yourself, maybe don't go straight to white supremacy.
Yeah.
Like instantly. You think that'd be the first step.
Which is funny because so many fucking celebrity, like not Gina Carano, I guess it's purely just like racism and Trump supporting but it's like it's kind of crazy how she hopped from one train.
You get canceled on Twitter and then you go straight MAGA. It's just like, an instant downfall. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, but I mean the thing with Jack too, it's like he went from that group to another group and he kept evolving his content because he knew that his audience aged. Like I think there are a lot of Jack Storm's viewers that watched Jack in like the late 2000s. Who's still watching to this day?
I mean, everybody saw the fucking the Snuggie in the
exactly when it came out.
Those parody videos.
Yeah,
I mean, I think those are still his biggest videos. Which like I looked at.
Yeah, I think so.
It had like 30 million views, you know.
And I mean, that's why he's also able to go on tour because he's on tour right now, and he's doing well because he's been able to grab this loyal audience, but then he evolves his content with this audience, even though he is like in his 30s, because. That's just that he understands that that's the one. He's not changing himself. It's still authentic content.
No, yeah.
But like, especially him, as a
human being, as you grow, you change, and your content has to change with you, or else it doesn't feel real anymore. Yeah.
Especially him being friends with like fucking like Minecraft people and like Lunchable people and like Eddie and like other people. It's like he's been evolving his content. He's been making the right connections, and he's just like a nice human being. It seems so. Jack, if for some reason you ever come across
Jack is definitely not watching
this podcast,
we fucking love you, Jack.
Not.
Jack's the
I
best.
want you as a guest on the podcast, please.
I want to talk to you about. Rad. I want to talk to Jack. Get Jack on the podcast. That's
I'm gonna ask him what's the most annoying series that people keep asking him to do. Like the
I'm
one
gonna
that
assume YGS.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna think too. Yeah, because every time
what can you?
Everyone asks,
what other jokes can you do? It's like,
exactly.
Grammar bad. I feel like societally we've evolved past making fun of somebody's grammar.
Grammar bad, yeah.
You know? Like, it's just not a joke anymore. It's like, okay, people, like some people fuck up typing, but other people have like, they know it's not their first language. And so it's like, like, it's not funny.
Yeah.
You know, some people have like dyslexia or you know, or neurodivergent, so they can't type as well, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the other thing too about, not to go off too much and suck his entire dick, but I mean, the other thing with Jack too is I think he understands that YouTube is a valid platform as well. Yeah. Which is why he hasn't just gone crazy. He's still
he never like tried to like switch to like late night or something.
Yeah.
Which like I think he would do a good job with late night. Actually, of all the people, he and like a lot of other.
I feel like if Seth Meyers ever says no and you want a YouTuber on board, Jack is like kind of my number one pick for that. Yeah. Of like put someone like that in that position.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But yeah,
he's the Seth Meyers of YouTube. That's a very good way to put it.
Yeah.
And this is me saying that because I really like Seth Meyers. Just as a dude, he seems like a really chill
Seth Meyers
guy.
is now my favorite TV person, I think, right now running. Really? Because it's like, I like Trevor Noah, but like I like him for his behind the scenes bits and stuff like I watch on YouTube.
I don't watch so much like TV like that, so like I can't say for sure. All I know is just like it's a matter of like just like I see that Tom King was on the Seth Meyers podcast.
Yeah, he's a comic fan.
He's a
Bill
big
Hader
comic fan. It's like it's not like Spider-Man fucking book, fake.
Right?
It's very it was great. It was rad.
I thought it was pretty good. I didn't love it, but it was pretty good.
I had fun with it.
I want to see them like get into movies like one day too.
That'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
I know he makes his cameos and shit. I feel like he would write a good comic.
But it's like those cameos are like, okay, that's Seth Meyers, you know.
Yeah.
I want to see like I want him to pull a Kristen Wiig and write like a fucking crazy. Oscar-winning like dramedy that is like genuinely fantastic.
Which have you seen?
Have I ever said this publicly? I fucking love Bridesmaids. I fucking love that movie. And it's such a crazy thing because as a movie, it is so lamely directed. Yeah. Like, directing wise, there is nothing interesting about that fucking movie.
It's just crazy actors doing crazy things.
It's crazy, great performances with a fantastic script. A fucking flawless script. Kristen Wiig is a genius. That's where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
And it shows, and you can tell because Paul Feig went from that to Ghostbusters 2016, which boy, that's a fucking shift.
Yeah.
You know.
But have you
seen the new Ghostbusters?
No, I have not, and I don't think
I
will for
a while.
We're
not going to talk.
We're not going to talk about it.
That's it.
I know Zach liked it. Iron Ninja liked it.
I know Zach did. I know.
And then I also know a lot of people hated it because
J-Mo
something
Blitz liked it a lot when
he
saw it early. He told me he liked it a lot. I saw clips from it that I'm like, I don't know how I feel, but that was out of context.
I heard weird shit happens in the ending that people don't like, and I'm like, okay.
I saw a little bit of the thing that they do with Harold Ramis, and I'm like, this is feels a little disrespectful. But that's just without a context. You know, I don't know anything about it, so it could be very respectful. I don't know.
I'm glad McKenna Grace is getting more of a career as she grows. I kind of feel bad because she's young and she's.
Is that the main girl in that movie?
Yeah, the main girl, the little girl.
Okay. What else has she been?
Because she is in Gifted, which that's where I first saw her, and then also she's like Captain Marvel's like young self, so she'll probably be in more Captain Marvel stuff.
I did not know that.
And I think she's also in the Adventures of Sabrina Netflix show or whatever too. Like she's growing.
Oh, rapidly. she's the young Sabrina that looks scarily close to the actress.
Like exactly like
what
Sabrina.
The fuck? That's crazy.
Like it's too close. And there's I think one more person that also looks like her, which is kind of insane.
That's insane. I'm always like fascinated by how the fuck do you cast kids like that?
Yeah,
like, do you start with the kid?
Yeah.
Like what if they're really funny?
Yeah. I feel bad because she is becoming popular very fast, but also maybe that's a good thing. Who knows?
As long as she doesn't. I'm okay. I have a weird take. If an actor I like becomes an MCU actor, and obviously she's already an MCU actor, she was in Captain Marvel, but
they'll put her in something else.
If once they become like mainstream, I'm like, I'm over you. I'm done playing. I'm like Andy with fucking Woody. I'm like, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
I don't think I can stick because I guess we weren't doing the podcast before the movie came out. I was a huge Simu Liu fan. Before Shang-Chi. I love that guy. I fucking adore him. And now it's like this isn't I like him still. Yeah. He's very funny still.
That's what's gonna happen with Rachel Zelger too. Which I mean she's not even much stuff, but like people are like, oh, I love her and her personality, and then she's gonna be in a Marvel movie eventually. Yeah. And then people are gonna be like, okay.
She gonna be in a Marvel movie or she's gonna be in Shazam?
She's not going she will eventually be in probably, one. I for sure.
Yeah. But it's like him and then Raul Coley, I'm kind of getting there too. I love him to death still. I still like these actors, but I'm not gonna like simp for them anymore. Because like everybody else is already doing it. I'm like,
got the bag. You can fend for yourself.
You're Steve Chill. You're very funny. Simu, I loved that fucking edit you did of Shang-Chi. That was very funny.
Yeah, that was a good edit.
You're not getting any more of my praise. You're not getting anything else. You're not the underrated actor you used to be. Okay.
Yeah.
The same is gonna happen with the same happened with Jonathan Majors. Same happened with Jonathan Majors, where it's like, okay, he's king now. Everybody loves him. All right, cool. Yeah. Moving on to my next guy. It's gonna happen with William Jackson Harper. It's gonna happen with, he's already kind of big, so I was like, not really. Yeah. But like the second he becomes Mr. Fantastic, because he's gotta be Mr. Fantastic. He has to be. Who the fuck else? Except for like a straight up unknown. You know?
I think they could go for. I'm trying to think.
Better not be John Krasinski. It better not be John Krasinski.
It'd be really funny at this point if it were.
If it was, I would. I think the internet
as a whole is tired of it.
I would literally like explode if they make it John Krasinski.
I think we just do the moment we do that. We record a podcast. The moment
because it's just like because I mean, there's the Kang stuff.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be a white guy. He can't.
What if it's like?
What if?
Fucking. Honestly, what if that is? It's like a different version of Reed Richards. God, I would. Because like they do World of Reed,
20
right?
minutes trying to explain why Mr. Fantastic is white.
Yeah.
They could have just not cast a white guy.
I need that explanation. In our universe, you're a white person, but in this separate universe.
I am so over the overt explanation of like super unimportant things. Yeah, if they cast a white guy, I would be a little kind of like, okay, you kind of missed some opportunity to do something important and special with it, but whatever. Mm-hmm. But if they explained it, it'd be like, oh, come
they're like,
on.
They're going to do the thing
same way. I feel
they're going to do the moment in the Flash season 3 where he's going to be like, oh, I'm your distant relative from the future. And then he's going to check his hand because he's white. Because they do that in the Flash season 3.
That'd be funny.
Which, I mean, I guess we haven't gone too much. Do we want? I have things I want to talk about. What I did these past. Few weeks.
What'd you do this? Because I didn't do shit. Yeah,
you didn't do shit
this week.
I did a good amount of stuff.
I watched. Wait, did you see my shirt?
Yes. Okay. Talk about this. Talk about this. Talk about how much of a Seinfeld
video
show you have become.
Audio only listeners.
Dalen is not listening, but if you are Dalen listening, we have another Seinfeld
probably
show.
The sexiest outfit I've ever worn in my life. Easily the best fashion I've ever stated. So Olivia is a big fan of Squishmallows. We're like just kind of looking around for them. Our way of getting out of the house, because we both work like remotely, is we just go out, we look for Squishmallows, we go to Walgreens and Target and shit just to fuck around. And that's how we go outside and touch grass.
Yep.
She heard that they were at Five Below, which there is no Five Below here, not within like an hour, and a whole hour of driving. And so we went to her family, or friends of her family, but they're basically her family and they're great people. I had like a great time, for Thanksgiving. And it was 2 hours away, 2 hours south. And on the way back, I was like, oh, there's a Five Below 20 minutes away. Do you want to go? And like, so Five Below is a place that sells everything is $5 or less. It's like a dollar store, but it's $5. So it's like better quality. Yeah. And I'm just going to say it. I fucking love that store. The best place in the world now. Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. Like, so they've got Seinfeld shirts for $5.
That is insane.
We screamed when that was the biggest, that was the most exciting thing that had happened to us all year. Of like, oh fuck, we finally, because it's like, so okay. Friends came on Netflix about 3 years ago. 2 years ago?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So it became like big to like friends. It became like mainstream to like Friends, right?
Including me, I fell for it.
Yeah, you fell for it. You fucking loser.
You fell for the trap. Chandler's funny. That's it. I'm sorry.
Friends is it's like okay at best, you know.
I watch it before I go to sleep and I laugh.
That's valid. That's valid. If you use it as a comfort show, good on you. Whatever. Seinfeld better, but whatever. How I Met Your Mother better, worse ending, but better. So because it was like it's been mainstream for a couple years, there is so much fucking Friends merch. Everywhere you go to Ross, you go to Target, you go to fucking, there are only 2 stores apparently, Ross and Target, or you go to fucking Walgreens, or fucking wherever you go, you're gonna see some Friends shit. Yep. Anywhere where you can get a fucking board game or a shirt or a fucking framed thing with an inside joke that's not funny. Like, just constantly. It's like Harry Potter at this point, where it's annoying
to make money. So otherwise it's Friends. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's like, you know how like there's always like sections of Harry Potter in like wherever place you go for like 30-year-olds to like Harry Potter for some reason. It's the same with Friends, where there's just sections now of just the most like, okay, wow, there's Friends merch. Seinfeld, on the other hand, biggest show of the 90s, hugely successful. Not a drop of merchandise in sight.
Isn't that like the only style of shirt is just that logo?
It's the only thing.
Yeah.
Like Seinfeld, for some reason, and I think this will change in the next couple of years because it's now on Netflix and because like they're pushing it pretty hard and people are getting into it now and stuff. And Cosmonaut Marcus is finally now starting to understand the greatness of Elaine.
Julie Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah, he finally saw it and he was like, "Wait, guys, hear me out," as if it was something controversial.
The lady from the MCU is hot.
Oh fuck! Oh god, that's right. They're in the MCU. I forgot about that.
Yep.
I can't wait till
Uncle Ben meets her and they're gonna have a little moment. George Costanza and Uncle Ben.
Please,
it's happening.
Please, Jason Alexander, let's do it. But so there's like not a drop of merchandise in sight. So when you see something, it's like an event. When you see a shirt at Five Below, it's like you got to make a big deal out of it.
It's
you got to
get matching shirts for that shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and when you see the board game in Target, you're like, yo, fuck yeah! Or the Clue board game, like they're happy, they're coming up. They're making more of it.
What is Seinfeld's like meta commentary on how this is detrimental to like comedy or something?
Honestly, probably
like you know how Seinfeld's sometimes kind of pretentious, right? With how he talks about comedy and like
a little bit.
Comedy.
Well, Jerry's mainly pretentious in the cars that he gets coffee with.
Yeah. Because he's driving the cool car, so he is the
richest
comedian.
I cannot put this lightly. The richest comedian in the world by a long shot. Yeah. People think Kevin Hart is rich because he like flaunts his like wealth a little bit.
Yeah.
Jerry is so far beyond Kevin that like you forget how rich he is. Yep. Jerry, I don't think he's at $1 billion yet, but he might as well be. Real life Jerry. Eat them. Eat the rich. Eat the rich.
Yep.
90s show Jerry the best. We love Jerry on the show. Except when he talks about women, then it's like, whoa, okay. I think it's like, okay, you're not fully sexist yet. You're not misogynistic, but you're making a lot of jokes about women.
There's going to be an episode where he walks into like a Target and he sees like the Clue board game for Seinfeld and he's like, this is a state of comedy right now. What's the deal with all of these Clue games and Target? That's gonna be an episode
of Curb, honestly.
Yeah.
How
many is he? He's in episodes of Curb.
Yeah, they did like they did like a fake Seinfeld thing with Curb that looked. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Curb is.
I think I saw like some kind of crossover thing where he listened to a guy saying a joke.
Seinfeld is like imagine Curb, where like you have the cringe moments of Curb and the way that like Curb's like the jokes all like roll into one final moment and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's like at the same time I love Curb. It's so I cannot watch Curb. I cannot do it. It's too painful. Yeah. It's too much.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of that with Seinfeld, but it's also like because there's so many stories. There's at least like 3 stories happening in a Seinfeld episode. Like you at least get one thing where it's like, okay, I'm just gonna sit back and have fun with it, you know. God, Seinfeld's so much fun. So much fucking fun. Love it. But we got these shirts. We got matching shirts. We look great.
Yep. It looks great with a Hawaiian shirt on top of it.
Love it. It's a good. I'm rocking a vibe. Nice I'm rocking a vibe with the mustache now.
You are rocking the good vibe. Yeah. Are you becoming Eddie Burback? Is that what's happening right now?
I think I am. Oh no! But you know what?
Mustache
of
Hawaiian
all
shirts?
those of the duo of that duo and that from that podcast, I would rather be Eddie.
One, yeah.
I would rather be Eddie than
Eddie's
the other
new
one.
Video was. Do you watch Eddie's new video?
The Glee one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got thoughts on that.
You don't like him?
Okay. Remember when I just said I loved Eddie? Remember when I just said I loved Eddie? I take it back. Eddie's a piece of shit. Eddie's a motherfucker. No, that video was really good, but I do think he missed the point of Glee a little bit.
Yeah.
I have been the Glee guy for the past few weeks.
Yep.
Glee is he only talks about the pilot, so it's like it's hard to like get his gauge for the rest of the show. It's impossible.
Which all of that happens in the pilot. That's a lot.
The pilot's
that
a lot.
In
Pilot's
the
a lot.
Yeah.
But it's also a 45-minute show, so it's like there's some.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And he did every beat, you know, but trying to go into Glee like it's a regular show, you can't. Glee is not a regular show. It's not.
Takes place in a surreal world. It takes place in one of those fucking infinite realities that showed up in Loki at the end. Yeah,
literally. But it's like and it's kind of, he talks about it a little bit, and I agree with him where it's like it's kind of a problem, but I also kind of love it where it's half parody, half teen drama, where it's like some of the time, whoa, these people are just straight up racist, and it's played for laughs, and it's like you have to assume it's a parody or else the creators are horrifically racist and it's awful. It's like that's the only way you can enjoy it if you view it as a parody. But then other times where it's like, oh shit, I just cried in Glee. I just cried while watching Glee because Sue Sylvester stuff happens.
The idea is it is a mix of the two, and that's the point. It's a mix of the two
where it's like and it's like fuck, I can't tell what I'm like. It's like you start watching it ironically, and then you like because it's
go
like,
between you
make fun of the cringy songs, you make fun of the cringy rapping, and like the way that they act when they're singing a song because they act Okay, anybody that watches Glee in this podcast, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. When they sing a song in Glee, their faces, the way that they react is not how people act when they're singing a song in high school.
Yeah.
They are vibing too fucking much to a song.
I saw that one clip of just him dancing with the kids, and I'm like,
it's too much. It's like, stop. I've been in these. That's not how this works. It's
yeah. But dude, just watching even Eddie's video, I got memories of choir in high school, and I'm like, I don't like thinking about this.
Imagine watching the show, man. Imagine watching that whole show.
That's which is why I can't.
But it's like, I genuinely, I hate to say it, but I do genuinely kind of like it. There was an episode in season 2, I want to say, that they did something actually very special and very like emotional, and it was very well done. Ryan Murphy has made a lot of bad shows and does a lot of stupid things and made, you know, but it's like, I don't know. It's maybe it's
a guilty pleasure. I think. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Maybe it's Stockholm syndrome, but it's like, I do genuinely, and maybe it's nostalgia or whatever. We'll see. 'Cause now I'm moving into season 3, which I have not seen at all. Yeah. And granted, I only have 2 days because it gets off Netflix in 2 days.
Get a rush.
But like, I don't know. I love it because it's so shitty. But also, it's good at times, you know? People are like, the people that you're supposed to like, you like, you know? Finn, very likable character. He's kind of an asshole sometimes, but like, it's understandable, you know? Blaine, Darren Criss, great fucking character, super likable. Rachel, terrible. We all hate Rachel, and it sucks when the show tries to make you like Rachel because nobody likes Rachel. Mercedes, banger, best singer in the show. Santana, asshole. But good, best singer and interesting character. Like Sue is the weird one where it's like sometimes it's like they don't know what they want to do with Sue. Sue is the gym teacher, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know.
Yep.
Where it's like Sue will sometimes be a parody of the like family values. Oh, get rid of the arts in school, yada yada yada, like that type of person. But then she'll turn around and spend like $3,000 on cheerleading. So she clearly like has an understanding of arts because I guess cheerleading is athletics. I don't know.
Is cheerleading art? Yeah, that's the argument.
But it's
the only reason I know about Sue is because I saw her in like other promotion stuff before I saw Glee.
Oh, that's
right. And I was like, who is this character? And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's like they sometimes they want to make her like the bully with the heart of gold that just makes fun of the cringiness of the show. But then other times they make her a straight up villain that is like trying to siphon away money from like kids pursuing creativity. You know, and like physically abuses children. Like, so it's like they don't know what. That's my real issue with the show. It's like, am I supposed to like Sue or am I not? Yeah, and like that's kind of the same with Rachel, who is the Lea Michele. Like, am I supposed to hate her or not? I can't tell. But like for the most part, everybody else, I guess Will is also that way. But I hate Will. Everybody hates Will. Will is a war criminal. Will Schuester is a war criminal.
Yeah. His face just looks kind of punchable.
It's too like he's like so conventionally handsome.
Yeah.
Like he's like somebody that my mom would be like, "Ooh, he's hot." And it's like that's the safest like yeah, sure, he's a good looking dude.
Look. Yeah.
Not even One Direction look like is still a little bit more softer and like feminine, but it's like it's like the Chris Pratt look or modern Chris Pratt where it's like, okay, sure, you're good looking, whatever. Yeah. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, it's like the 2000s Ryan Reynolds.
Chris Hemsworth
it's like
and
the
Chris
2000s
Pine
Ryan
are
Reynolds
funny,
look.
You know, or like they say, Chris Evans, they seem like chill dudes. They seem like nice guys. Chris Pratt brings something else to the table besides the fact that you're the most generic looking muscly white man. Yeah, and that you hate your ex-wife, piece of shit. Fuck Chris Pratt. Oh my god. Yeah, and that you hate Italians.
But Eddie,
anyway, that's what I did.
If you're listening, Eddie, if you're listening, please come on the podcast.
Eddie, I still love you. Podcast. I still love you, and I'll debate you on Glee. Debate me about Glee.
I will mediate this debate. It will be so much fun.
No, but his video was very fun. Yeah, it was just that I was just rewatching Glee, and I was like, "Oh,
have you been watching his video essays? His video essays have been. I missed a couple of them.
I hate to be like this, and because I don't want to. I only watch video essays from my friends.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of like it's a time sink thing, and a matter of like any video essay I see, I'm gonna want to try and either replicate or like get something out of, and it's or like Spider-Man, like his Spider-Man 2 one. I really want to watch that because I really want to see what he has to say. I kind of also want to talk about Spider-Man 2 the game eventually in the future, you know. And if I don't watch the video, then I can't.
And you can go in open-minded.
I can't say that people can't accuse me of copying. Which is why I waited so long to watch Brown Table's No Way Home thing, you know? and stuff like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah. What did I do? I did a bunch of shit. I went back home. And
when I say friends, I mean mutuals on Twitter, by the way. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if Alex and I are friends. I like to think we're friends, but you know, I don't want to form a parasocial relationship.
Friends with a lot of people. That's what Twitter does. Is because you follow someone and they follow you back, and it's like, ooh. But what'd you do? All right, what did I do? I did a bunch of shit. I went back home for Thanksgiving, and it was a lot of fun. I am like in social groups. I am usually not the funniest person, and I notice I go back to my family, and I have gotten progressively more comedic with my family. That I am like the clown in my family, but it's like a good thing, I think. I got to mess around. Is
that your junker moment?
My junker moment. I'm clown Mithi now. But if my parents found out about Cloud Mithi, they would just be severely disappointed. They'd be like, "Why?"
we're all disappointed.
That's true, but okay. So my parents got a new TV, and I was like, "We need to watch a movie," and we only like watching action movies. I watched Edge of Tomorrow, and that was actually a lot more fun.
Yeah, I fucking love that movie.
That movie was a lot more fun.
I apologize to audio listeners for just peaking the audio right there. I love that movie, dude.
Yeah,
that's like I don't know what you thought of it. I thought
it was great. I thought it was amazing.
Such a sucker for like, and it's honestly why I don't like Happy Death Day as much as I wished I did.
Yeah,
I'm a huge sucker for Groundhog Day things in another genre. You know, and action movie Groundhog Day, the fucking coolest. We need a fucking superhero Groundhog Day that's not that episode of The Flash. Because that's not really an episode of The Flash. No, I guess they did Legends. Yeah, Legends did it best. But like,
I need a Flash Groundhog Day.
It's the best genre. It's the best trope. Yeah, there's so much fun.
Yeah, and it's I do like the Legends episode too. The Legends episode
that's my favorite.
Because I like Talashi. Yeah, me too. Me too. Same here. Yeah. It's amazing.
It's the episode that makes you love that character.
Yeah, it didn't make me cry because the show never makes me cry. But like, that's a great moment.
Fucking
what
heartless
happened.
Motherfucker. Wow.
I know. I am a heartless thing. I've only cried.
I cry
at
Legends.
things.
I don't give a shit. I cried when they played the thong song.
They
I saw that going around Twitter that one day, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, this is so cringe." That was the best moment in the show.
Yeah,
that was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
I love when Twitter doesn't understand Legends, and then they try
Legends
and talk
and
about
they just take it out of context.
They like think it's the Flash,
they treat it like
where
the
it's
Flash,
like accidentally. When it's very
which I have thoughts. I will get to Flash stuff later.
Yeah.
But I watched Edge of Tomorrow, and like I have been struggling to find movies that my dad likes. Right. Yeah. I watched No Time to Die, on the TV with a good sound system. Mm-hmm. Oh my fucking god! I think I need to rethink my top 10 list. Like,
really, I need to watch it. Like, I need to.
I have and I think some of it is just personally the movie did so much that resonated with me. It's like a more emotional Mission Impossible Fallout.
Interesting.
That's how I think about it.
Damn,
which I like Mission Impossible Fallout more.
Yeah.
But the No Time to Die just does such a good job, especially in the last third of the movie, just hooking me in like completely. Like the first half of the movie, I'm like okay with some stuff, and like some stuff is better than other stuff. The second half of the movie, I'm like, okay, here we go. Here's a couple of things that I'm interested in. It's a little bit slower, but I'm still interested. And then the third half happens, and there's this fight scene in the forest that's just beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And I want more blockbusters to just do that all the time. And yeah, the more I think about No Time to Die, the more it's going up there on that top 10, maybe even top 5 list. I need to think about it more. But watching it in a good fucking home, not a home theater quite, but like a good fucking TV was really nice. And I talked to my dad about the next day, and he's like, all of these movies are the same. I don't like watching all these movies. And I'm like, how am I supposed to impress you with a movie suggestion? And then we put on Edge of Tomorrow, and he really liked it. So I was like, okay, I guess that's
Edge of Tomorrow.
But
it's so much fun. I need to watch. Yeah. I need to watch. How much do I need to watch Spectre before I watch No Time to
Die? You just need to understand who Madeline is, really, and then who Blofeld is.
I'll watch. Oh fuck! I'll watch.
Watch a review video. Watch like a clip of them having chemistry.
I'll watch Spectre. I might as well. It's like it just it just everything I was saying about that movie was like this doesn't interest me. It looked a lot like the Star Trek Into Darkness of James Bond.
Yeah, I think that's a good comparison. I haven't seen it, but I know what happens in it.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
Which I played the score for Star Trek Into Darkness in my high school concert, and I had a French horn solo.
Look at you.
That is the only reason I know more about Into
French
Darkness.
Horn King.
And I haven't touched the French horn for the past 2 years.
French Horn King. Love to see it.
Yeah. But yeah, I did that, and so No Time to Die. I want to make a fucking video on it, but it'll take some time. I'm gonna give it some time. Then what did I do? I watched The Flash. I haven't watched the second episode yet. I know parts of what happens in the second episode, but I haven't watched it yet. I watched the first episode and I realized something that fucking shook me to my core. What? Holy fuck, The Flash is just for kids. I did not realize that. I just realized it watching the first episode, and I was like, holy shit, it's a kids show. That's what it is. That's why I've been hating it for so long, is because it's just become a kids show. Yeah. And the problem is, it's almost like they think time travels backwards because they're just writing The Flash too much because they think their audience has aged like backwards. Season 1 and season 2 are just so much mature of a show than season 8. And I think season 8, if you're a kid and you're watching season 8, you love season 8 because it's like, oh my God, that's so cool. And like, yeah, there's a little lesson at the end, but it's a good lesson. It's literally built exactly like a Spider-Man kids show. Like that is what it's built like. Like you have side characters who go through a little bit of an arc. They have like a little sad moment, and then everything kind of wraps up. But then there's a final fight that happens.
How much does season 7 matter? Wait, yeah, the last season.
No, not at all.
Not really. Okay,
you can just.
I might try it because I actually heard good things. That's
I heard good things about episode 2. I heard good things about
because I saw that clip. Is that clip from episode 2?
Him realizing something.
Yeah.
I think that's from episode 2.
Okay, because I fuck with that. I'm actually very interested.
That would look cool. That looked cool.
I like that kind of storyline has always been my shit, and the fact that wasn't season 3 is such a waste of time.
Yeah.
But like, I don't. I'll try it. I guess I need to finish Stargirl still, so I don't. If I'm gonna watch the CW show, I'm gonna finish a good one first.
Yeah. I think the fact that I realized that the show is for kids now, basically, like it's written to be a kids show, and I don't think the writers realize it. I think the writers still think they are writing a show for adults because their audience is adults.
Is it like kids, or are you saying like Riverdale young adults like 16?
I'm talking like 13 to 15. Maybe even 12 to 15.
That's about the CW's demographic now, so that doesn't surprise me too much. Yeah. Especially whereas like Superman and Lois and Stargirl have HBO money.
Yeah.
And like it's going to HBO after this, whereas this is just going to Netflix.
And then even with Superman and Lois, I like Superman and Lois. It's written better.
Yeah.
I can see the demo audience for that show being 13 to 15-year-olds too.
Yeah, I could see I wouldn't say I would say 15 to 19 for Superman
15 to 19 maybe. Yeah. Okay.
And
it's
then
like cuz like when I was watching the Flash,
30-year-old men I thought in their basements.
When I was watching the Flash, I was like, this is something my sister would watch. Fuck, she is definitely not 16 yet. Something's not adding up here. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's why. It's because it's written like a kid's show.
I almost kind of wish, I don't like Riverdale at all. I almost kind of wish, I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I don't know for sure. I haven't seen the newest season. I kind of liked what they were doing with season 4 initially at the first half of like making it funnier. That was the whole thing. It was just, we're just kind of making a comedy now. But then it became that they don't seem to know how to do comedy.
When the serious stuff happens, also they don't know how to conduct that properly as well. Other than that,
season 4, the first half of season 4 was very good about it, I think.
Yeah.
And like, oh shit, something crazy just happened, and like this is gonna change the whole trajectory of the show, and then it didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It's so interesting comparing the Flash to Arrow because it's like, assuming this is Grant's. They said this is Grant's last season, right?
They said, I think it is the last season. It'd be so weird if they continued the show after this. I think it's the last season.
I think
it's the last season.
I don't think, my theory is I don't think it's the last season. I think it's his last season. I think they're going to do one or two with Jordan Fisher or Bart. You know?
That'd be so weird though, man. That'd be
interesting.
I don't know.
I actually wouldn't hate it. I think they should have been doing that from the start. I would have liked three Barry seasons, 3 Wally seasons, and 3 Bart, and then a fucking season of Jay in the 40s.
Yeah.
That would have been rad. Wouldn't that have been sick?
That would have been sick. It would have been hard to retain the same audience, but it would have been
just
cool.
like reboot it. Do it like kind of, you know how like Young Justice like has like a subtitle for each new season?
Yeah.
Do it like the Flash for the Barry seasons, the Flash Rebirth for fucking Wally, the Flash New Generation or something, whatever, and then the Flash like flashback for Jay.
Yeah.
Or Flash Legacy. I don't know. I think there's, I don't know, fucking Fanboy rewrites right there. But I think they were so stuck in the formula, and it's okay. We've talked about this on call, but not on podcast. I think the Flash's issue is it's not just budget. It is, but it stems from budget. But the issue is that it's network TV. I don't think a lot of people are understanding that. This is a network TV show that is meant to run for 22 episodes. Are the new seasons shorter?
The new seasons are shorter, but I think it's just because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It still feels like long.
Yeah,
too long.
like they're long seasons, made to be, and this is made with a shoestring budget, basically not shoestring, but like a lower budget than something like Superman Lois or something like a streaming service, and that's a matter of just, it's like a cop show, where cop shows are, you film outside a little bit, you film some people talking, you have your interrogation set, you have your bullpen. Yeah, you have your bullpen set. You have your station, you have your sets, and you use them as much as you can to save money. And you write stories so that they stay exclusively in the fucking
thing. And also
thing.
With those shows, some of the murders are violent, but they are slightly more kid friendly.
Yeah,
right.
It's a matter of like
show it to your kids.
SVU is fucked up, but like kids still watch it because they're not actually showing stuff; they're just talking about stuff.
Yeah, and if that goes over your head, it goes over your head.
Yeah, but it's like, and so like you kind of have to think of these shows
like The Rookie. The Rookie is a good example of a show.
The Rookie. Sorry. I'm thinking of Blue Bloods. The Rookie's fine. Okay. We love Nathan Fillion.
I've seen clips from The Rookie, and I'm like, this is definitely shit like kids will watch. Like, I can see a kid
The Rookie's fine.
This.
I saw like one episode of it, and I was like, Nathan Fillion, like we like Nathan. He was better on Castle.
Pete Davidson is in that show, right? As
Pete Davidson?
I think so.
What?
Am I just surprised?
Wait, what?
Pete Davidson is in that show for like. Okay. I surprised. I wait till he comes back. I'm gonna tell him who Pete Davidson plays in the show, and I won't tell you because I think it's okay. I need to look this up too to make sure. Davidson, The Rookie. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Right, yep. I was fact checking that.
Guess who?
Guess the expert.
Guess who he plays?
What the fuck?
Guess who Pete Davidson plays on the show?
His son, right? That's what you just said.
Nathan Fillion's half brother.
Half brother?
Yeah.
That's even funnier.
Yeah, I know. There's like, wait. I saw the scene. It's because of the Suicide Squad, because they work together in the Suicide Squad.
Oh,
but it's like,
so it's recent. Okay, so I didn't see this.
It's recent. Yeah, you haven't seen this, but it's like, I think they go to his house or something. Pete Davidson's there, and he's like, yeah. Something about my girlfriend, and I need to tell her something because I think she's pregnant. But like I want to run away, and then fucking Nathan Fillion says something about like how it's like, that's what happened with our dad, and he's like, yeah, well, our dad left because he was a shitty dad, and I'm gonna be a shitty dad too. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Listeners can't see this right now. Yeah. I am fucking like my face. I am the Grinch. I have the biggest fucking smile. That is the funniest news I've ever heard in my life. Of just a surprise Pete Davidson that Olivia managed to not tell me about.
It feels so weird.
That's the funniest fucking thing.
All right, so I guess I'm
gonna watch The Rookie now. We stand The Rookie. Blue Bloods is the one that actually. But... Blue Bloods is a really shitty one. Blue Bloods is the hardcore propaganda show that is like fully funded by police unions and stuff. Makes sense. Really shitty. That's really fucking funny. Oh my god.
Yeah, you're welcome for giving
thank
me
you so much. Thank you so much.
But no,
it's literally the same. It's like it's a cop show. They're trying to minimize their expenses by using the same set as much as they can, by reusing as much as they can. Like if you watch enough cop shows, you'll know like, oh, they use the same back alley all the time. Yeah. And they just shoot it in a way to make it look different.
Vancouver.
Yeah. Yep. And it's the same with the Flash. They reuse the Star Lab set as much as they can, and they can't pull a Superman and Lois where like things are happening on the like. Okay, my issue, and I think a lot of people agree with this, because it's not a hot take. My issue with the Flash is like that it's constant like referring back to the team, like to figure things out. Superman and Lois doesn't do that because he doesn't have a team. And when he has to figure things out, it happens on set and like in the thing, or in the situation. That's a money thing. It's that the more time, the more stuff they have to film out on location, the more expensive it is, and the more difficult it is, the more time it takes. Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
And so it's
that's
like
why you have your first fight, and then you have your second fight in basically the same location.
Yeah, and I don't blame the show for that. I really don't. It's not the show's fault. Like, it's a limitation. It's if there's anybody to blame, it's the CW. But my issue with the show comes from, like, you should know where your limitations are. You should know that you can't do a big giant CGI humanoid out in broad daylight, because that's not how much money. Like, any filmmaker should know you shouldn't do that, regardless of how much money you have, unless if you're Marvel.
Yeah.
Like and like if money is such an issue to you, then start telling more Barry stuff. Start doing stuff personally with Barry instead of trying to have like action scenes all the time. And like it's like it doesn't know what show it needs to be.
You can do time shit that with a lower budget, because it just needs to look surreal, right? Yeah. That's it. And you don't need crazy CGI for that.
Yeah,
you just need,
and
lighting.
You don't need big scope stuff. You could just have fucking to show super speed. There's a way you can show somebody moving really fast, and it's called pausing the camera and having somebody move to another part of the room and then blasting some wind. Oh shit! It's just like I don't know. I feel like they're trying so hard to reach an audience that it exists. Clearly, it's still a successful show. Yeah, but doesn't appreciate it. I don't know. It's. I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. Like,
they're trying to reach two audiences: the audiences that kind of like the cringe, and the audiences that don't. But the audiences that don't are already over it, and the audiences that like the cringe are going to be there anyway. So it's like, what are you doing?
And also, it's just like the really at this point, the show's 8 seasons in. The audience is people that love Barry Allen and love Iris West and love the characters, right? That's the 100%. Anybody that is still watching the show loves those people, so they don't care what the fuck you do with them, as long as you tell something interesting with them and push the story along. They don't want action. I mean, some people might, but they don't want crazy superhero action. They don't want crazy CGI set pieces. They want characters interacting, having drama, and talking. And guess what? The CW is really good at drama. It's the one thing they're good at. Yeah. That's the one fucking thing. Yeah. And it's like, it's crazy how Smallville knew this.
And that's what they did for 9 seasons. 20
years ago, Smallville knew that we can't be a big superhero show because we can't afford it. And we'll have our big moments. We'll have him fly in the premiere when he's fucking mind controlled, and we'll have him stop a rocket in the finale. But for the most part, all Clark does in that show is super speed around, push people, and then run away. That's all he does. That's all the action scenes are. There's nothing to do because you can't afford it.
Because it's about the drama of the characters.
It's about the character.
I feel like
it's about the Flash is trying to becoming Superman. Yeah.
And I think it's because Arrow got their budget increase and shit.
Yeah.
And so everyone was like, because Arrow is, I think, a more fleshed out show, like rounded wise. It's like you have more action, you have more scenes, and yes, there's a formula, but like it's Arrow, so it's just stunt work. It is set in
Arrow
a real
is like
world.
it's a lot easier. Like Arrow, I don't like Arrow. I need to say this because I don't like Arrow, but Arrow is like kind of where filmmakers would go to make CW. If you're a filmmaker, if you're an action, or like if you like genuinely like no cinematography and camera work and everything, you would go to Arrow over the other shows. And maybe Batwoman is that now, which probably not. Fuck Batwoman. Fuck Batwoman. We stand with Ruby Rose. But like Arrow was that, which is like I didn't like Arrow because Arrow was a very bad Green Arrow show. Yeah. But as a Batman show, or as an action show, or as like a poor man's The Raid, or poor man's Daredevil, it was fine. It was serviceable.
Yep. I still think season 3 of Arrow to me is what season 1 of The Flash was.
Yeah.
Like that's how much I like it. And
interesting.
I mean, part of that's probably
I did not vibe with season 3 at all.
Not season 3, season 5. I meant season 5.
Yeah, I see that.
Season 5.
Season 5.
And it's like. Because to me it was like, okay, you can still do shit that is kind of cringe, because the show does always do shit that's cringe, and even The Flash season 1 did shit that was cringe. It's part of the show. But then like eventually you kind of come around to it, or the things that stick out really stick out. Arrow, that fucking episode where Arrow gets where he gets tortured. Like that's a fucking that's an episode
great
right there
episode.
where I'm like,
great episode. Arrow to me is kind of, this is very funny. Arrow's kind of like the Spider-Man Homecoming of CW shows, where I'm like, to me at least, where I'm like, I really hated it when it came out and when it was happening, because it's like, this is not the character. This is not Green Arrow in the slightest. In it, like, you know, whatever. But now looking back, and I'm like, okay, wait, they did some interesting stuff there. You know, as a show, I mean, as a show, it's fucking, you know, CW, they're not great. Again, not as good as Spider-Man Homecoming, because I like Spider-Man Homecoming. But looking back on it, I'm like, okay, I can still like respect it for what it's doing. And I see certain things. It's, you know, Arrow is a Green Arrow show if Green Arrow had severe PTSD because he was on the island 5 times longer than he should have been.
Yep.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. I have this very strange relationship with Arrow because it's like, I should love it because it's a Green Arrow show. I should take what I can get.
There's so much content dedicated to the Green Arrow.
Yeah, 8 years of a Green Arrow show. That's rad. I love that. But it wasn't Green Arrow.
Yeah, it was someone else that wasn't.
And it hated Black Canary. That's good. Like it fucking hated Black Canary, and it like had those. Oh my god, I forgot about Felicity.
We forget about her. I
have to forget about her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. My relationship with her is so strange. It's like probably the biggest Green Arrow fan you'll ever meet. Of like, I loved it, and then I hated it, and like, I don't know. It's strange. It's very strange. And I feel like Flash is kind of the same way, but at the very least, like, is Barry at least good in the show still?
I want to say yes. I think yes. But like, was Stephen Amell ever bad in Arrow?
Sorry, I mean, Stephen Amell was never the problem with Arrow. It was a matter of how they wrote Oliver. They didn't write him like Oliver. They wrote him like Batman.
Yeah.
They wrote him like a little bit, you know, it was
a little bit more jovial.
But Barry in there's a Wally Westification of Barry Allen in general.
Yeah.
And I hate it. Yeah. It's lame. It always sucks because Wally is a better character than Barry. I love it. Actually, you know, fuck it. I love Barry. I love Barry as a character when he's written like Barry. When he's written like Wally, he's trash. Like but when he's written like Barry, like in Young Justice, he's really fun.
Yeah.
Like Barry in the show, even like during the worst seasons, like season 4 and season 5, he was a good character still. He was always the best part, and still is. And I'm assuming he still is the best part.
He still is. Yeah. They give him more stuff to do this season, which is good. They really give Barry more stuff to do in this first episode already.
Wait, I have a question. I haven't seen it. Is Cisco still there?
No.
Thank fucking God. I really liked that character. He should have died in season 3. He should have
been the one to make the sacrifice play. That would have been a lot more impactful.
Overstayed his welcome. Yeah. Is Caitlin still there?
Yes, Caitlin is still. There's still Caitlin and Killer Frost as 2 separate.
That's annoying. They should have. Okay. Season 5 should have been like a refresher. Should have been like, okay, we are ending everybody except Iris and Joe, because Joe was great. Like everybody but them, they're gone. You know, and now
I think at least season 6 should have been that.
Season 6 should have been that, yeah.
It was going to be that, but then the show kind of reverted to something.
I wonder if it's a matter of like the fans of the show were like, no, Cisco, no, Caitlin, and instead of, I don't know, I have this like, as of late in like modern media, there's fans have too much influence.
Yeah.
Who cares? And Twitter has killed media discourse. No, not really. Not really. I don't want to talk about Twitter. But like Twitter and like any kind of like fan forum stuff, the second that like the people making the thing start giving a shit about what they say, dead in the fucking water. Either like Game of Thrones, where Game of Thrones was just so worried about not being predictable that they just made a bad show. You know, like either that way, or in like, oh, fans got really sad when a character died, so let's bring it back. You know,
or that like, doesn't fit your narrative. That's
and obviously you do need to like listen to criticism and stuff, but there is a limit to how much you should be paying attention to what people have to say. You know, if you listen to what every fucking loser on the internet said about your show that you make, that you have your vision and your full view for, then you would just have like, you know, bros hanging out being bros and no drama.
Imagine if like Nolan did that. Like imagine if like Nolan like saw that like the people were shitting on him.
People were so sad about Rachel, so I gotta bring Rachel back. She's the Riddler.
God, yeah. Would that be more entertaining than watching
Marion Cotillard?
Dark Knight Rises is good.
I forgot Marion Cotillard wasn't the Riddler. Whoops.
Oh yeah.
Because I had like a pitch for a Fanboy rewrite of that movie that was I'm not gonna make that video, but that's what that was. It was that she was
Why
Riddler
not?
And stuff.
Do it. Make content, Troy.
I feel weird doing rewrites of like movies.
Yeah.
Like I don't like Dark Knight Rises is fine. It's okay.
Do a rewrite of Inception where instead of dreams it's like, I don't know, fucking do a rewrite of Inception, but every time it's just a wet dream. Like every single time.
Fuck.
Someone else has already done that and his name was Axel Braun.
I'm curious. Is there an Axel Braun Inception? I'm gonna guarantee
that's gotta be a thing. And Nolan probably loves it. Let's be honest.
He probably does, yeah.
But yeah.
The Flash. My hot take is like listen to criticism, and like if like a large majority of fans are like, wait, this is not good for the show, quality wise, then listen to them. But if it's like with Felicity,
if it's like what happened with Arrow,
that's exactly what happened with like I forgot that the majority of Arrow fans loved Felicity. It's like everybody was pushing for Olicity, and that just killed the show.
Yeah.
Did I tell you my experience at Comic-Con with Arrow?
A little bit, I think.
I don't know if I talked about on the podcast.
Oh yeah, no, the Vampire Diaries thing.
Yeah, like I think
you told do it on the talk about it.
I went to the panel for Arrow before season 3. So what was that? 2016, something like that, or 2017?
Yes, yeah,
I don't remember.
Yeah, 2016,
15. I don't fucking remember. Whatever number. And like this was between 2 and 3, so like right when the show was at its peak, and in like season 3 was where it started kind of to go down, and I was whatever. The vampire. I waited all fucking day for this panel. I showed up at 9 a.m. for an 8 p.m. panel, and I sat through the Big Bang Theory panel for that.
That's
I just need to tell everybody. And
you would want to sit through the panel now more than before, I guess, right?
Okay, it was the panel with the writers, and at the time it was fun, but only because Craig Ferguson was the host, and I just really like Craig Ferguson, so I was really excited about that. But looking back on it, I'm like, wow, those jokes were lame that they made.
Yeah.
But they were guys that had fun, and it was cool. It was nice to see. But I waited all day for this, and the panel right before the Arrow panel was for not the Vampire Diaries, but the Vampire Diaries spin-off, the originals. So like anybody watching that show was a hardcore Vampire Diaries fan.
Yeah.
Anybody who was like a fan of that show loves the Vampire Diaries. It's so and so I'm in this panel, I'm like, oh, this show doesn't look great, and I'm a lot of people in this panel, like, they're kind of annoying. They seem like the kind of most annoying fan. Well, at least they're going to clear out before the Arrow panel starts. That'll be cool. And then the Arrow panel, and so that the originals panel ended, the Arrow panel was about to start, and not a single fucking person got out of their seat.
They all started cheering.
Everybody stayed because they weren't there for the originals. They were there for Arrow.
That's gonna be that's a Curb moment, right?
It really was. It really was a Curb moment.
It's like you set up the entire episode.
Like you have this vision in your mind of what people who like are such huge fans of the show are like, and then you look out into the sea of teenage girls screaming about Felicity. And like you're like, oh, and booing the idea of did I tell you that somebody people were booing Nightwing, and I was just like, oh no, this is my favorite show. You
felt like you're in the fucking Captain America Winter Soldier elevator.
I really was. I was just like, does anybody want to get out? It was
somebody want to get out and no one leaves.
Remember what? You know the John Mulaney thing of like the mariachi band. Of like, oh, it's a guy with a guitar. Oh, it's another guy with a guitar. Oh, it's another guy with a guitar. Oh, no. That's how it was. That's how it was at the Arrow panel. Yep. And then they showed the trailer and then instantly put it online. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Wait, this wasn't special.
Yeah.
So that's when I learned that Avatar: Legend of Korra is a better show than Arrow, and there is my hot take.
That's a good hot take.
Love Legend of Korra. It's great.
My sister watched Legend of Korra, and I still haven't watched. I watched like the first 3 episodes. Like, this is cool. I will watch the rest of it later.
It's not amazing. Obviously, the original show, best show of all time.
Yeah.
But I should do a commentary on that show. Actually,
is season 3 the one that's like crazy good? Which one's crazy good, or is it season 2?
Season 3. Yeah, season 3 is fucking fantastic. Okay. If you're gonna watch any season, watch season 3. It's fucking killer. Okay.
Can I just watch season 3 and be fine?
You might need a little bit of backstory. It's crazy.
Can I skip season 2 because I hear season 2 is bad?
That's the thing that sucks, because season 2 is like the worst season, but it kind of introduces like very important lore that is like integral to like.
So maybe I just need to watch in the background or something.
You might, yeah. It's like, well, you need to know the first Avatar. You need to know the whole like Vatu and Rava stuff, and you need to know like the ending of season 2 with like how certain things are leading into season 3, which like lead to the villains of season 3. Yeah. But the villains, the thing I love about Korra, and we can talk about Western and lame main Korra's Western. I don't know why I said that. We can talk about other shit later, but in a second. But the thing I love about Korra is that every villain is like a political ideology. Like the first was third was anarchy. The first was anarchy. Second was like religion in politics. The third was what was it? I can't remember. And then the last was fascism. Like I can't remember what Zahir represents. I think it was. I can't remember. I need to like relook at it and remember what he was saying and stuff. But that was really interesting compared to like the first show, which was just like Star Wars, you know, with the Fire Nation. I thought that was interesting. I like Korra. Korra's fun. Korra, good show. Very good animation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah. Do you know what else I watched?
What did you watch?
I watched the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye. You haven't seen the first 2 episodes.
I've not seen. So yeah, my view on Hawkeye is tell me when they start doing cool archery stuff, and then I'll give a shit. Because for now, Arrow has a beat. First 2 episodes of Arrow have fucking killer archery scenes. The coolest. He shoots the fucking.
Here's the thing.
The fucking tennis ball.
You know how you were with What If? How you were hyped for What If? That was kind of me with Hawkeye, because I was like, I feel that. Rhys Thomas is directing it. It's cool. Mm-hmm. It looks very interesting. I love Christmas vibe. I don't even love Christmas that much. I just like the vibe of Christmas. Yeah. Which I'm not wearing this hat because Christmas. I'm wearing this because I have a shitty fucking haircut. You look great, but I respect. I know, but I like this hat also. We'll get the color.
Halloween's still not over. Halloween's not over.
Fine, whatever. This is
spooky season, baby.
This is you right now being sad about Halloween. This is me wearing my Christmas hat.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. That's you.
This meme sucks.
But fuck, I can't even do it. Audio listeners, it was the bus joke. The bus.
It's the bus joke. I hide the bus as my background. I am Miss Frizzle on the bus. But okay, so I watched these 2 episodes of Hawkeye. First time I watched it with Christian before I went back home. And the second time I watched it, my sister kept begging me. She was like, I want to watch Hawkeye. I want to watch Hawkeye. And I'm like, why the fuck do you want to watch Hawkeye?
Seinfeld?
And probably. But she was like, no, I want to watch it. I want to watch it.
Honestly, that's the only reason I want to watch Hawkeye too.
Yeah.
That and the fact and the chance of cool archery moments.
Yeah. But I watched it with her the second time in like the middle of the day. And I watched it with Christian like upon release at like the middle of the night. Both times... I love the vibe of it. I really like the vibe of it. And surprisingly, Jeremy Renner and his family is my favorite part of the show.
Interesting.
Like the vibe of like Clint hanging out with his family is the best part of the show. But you only really get that in the first episode. And the bits and pieces you get in the second episode aren't really enough. But the vibe of Jeremy Renner just chilling in this show is nice. And I like that vibe. I don't know Jeremy Renner as a person and all. If he's done any shit,
there's been some shit.
There seems like there might be some shit. There's been ignoring that just for a second. I like his performance in the show. So far, he is my favorite part of the show, which maybe tells you that I don't especially like Haley Steinfeld. I think she's fine.
This is a hot take.
I think she's cool.
That's the only reason I give a shit about the show. I need to see it.
I think she is cool.
Kate Bishop, best character in the world. Just kidding.
Kate Bishop is cool.
Kate Bishop is going to be the best MCU character because they're gonna fuck up Ms. Marvel.
Yeah, probably. Did you see that new suit?
Yeah, it looks like ass.
It looks horrible.
It looks like dog shit.
Horrible.
Dude, how are they fucking up their best character? It's crazy. No idea. It's insane to me.
Yeah, but but so I like the vibe of the show. I like the vibe. I see what they're going for. I fell asleep for at least a minute both times I watched the episode.
Really?
And one time I was like really tired, so okay. But the second time it was in the middle of the day, and I still fell asleep, and because I was just fucking tired. And I think the reason is it's just really, really slow.
Yeah.
It does not need to be 45 minutes. It could have been 30 minutes.
It feels like the reverse problem of What If, of like...
Yeah. Where it's like the LARPing scene, I guess, is fun, but it goes on for there's a LARPing scene.
Threw me off.
That's all
for
I'm
a second.
It's funny. It is funny, but it goes on for way too fucking long.
Yeah.
And like in a comic, the comic is also slow paced, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a Matt Fraction.
I'm gonna read the Matt Fraction book to give David Aha some money because he deserves the world.
Because he deserves more than what he's given, which is nothing.
The zero shit he's been given, which I won't talk about that for a little bit.
Which those credits are amazing, but
they look great. They look great. Yeah. I thought it was just marketing that they ripped from him. It's the fucking credits too. It's actually the show. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
And they're not giving it anything. Yeah, it's stupid.
Fucking ridiculous.
But
yeah, that's my goal. I'm gonna read the book and then I'm gonna start watching the show.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. It's. I get it. The comic is slow paced, but that's also because you can pick up and stop a comic midway through. Yeah. And like you can just kind of read it as you go along.
Comics have. This is why I love the comics medium actually, and why I love writing for it. And like, this is a whole video. I think like what defines a good comic writer versus just a good writer. I love Tom Taylor. Tom Taylor is my favorite writer working in comics today.
Yeah.
My really hot take is I don't think he needs to be writing comics. His stories are not written specifically for the comics medium because the comics medium has a control over time that nobody gives attention to except for, ironically, Tom King is the only one working today, and Grant Morrison does it too. They are the only people working today that do the same thing as Alan Moore. Alan Moore perfectly understood the medium of time. And maybe Matt Fraction is now. I need to read the book, so I can't say for sure. But like the control of like the reader has full control over pacing. The reader's like, okay, I've spent enough time on this. I'm gonna move to this. Spent enough time on this. I'm gonna move to this. And so some person,
which you can't even do that as much in the book because books have chapters. They have ways you're supposed to kind of read them, right?
You can't when you're reading a book like a novel, like prose. You are reading word for word. It's a consistent pace. Whatever your read speed is, that's how you read it, you know?
And usually if you stop the book midway through, you stop at a chapter. You don't usually stop midway through. Whereas with the comic, I feel like it's easier to stop midway through, right?
That's fair, I mean, there's still chapters with comics, with the issues and stuff like that. Yeah. But like just in terms of just from a second by second basis of reading a comic, you like, okay, there's a big panel. The writer clearly wants me to focus on this. So I'm going to focus on this for as long as I feel is necessary for the story and then move on to the next one. This is a small panel, so it's clearly not that important. Or not that important, but like clearly I'm not supposed to spend much time on it because there's not as much space on the screen. Versus a book and a movie, you get other things with it. You know, books have... The mediums are mediums, so they're all... You know, and I'll talk about this with my adaptations video. But like, movies have sound and stuff, so soundtracks instill emotion. Movies are better for like empathy and emotion, I think, because you get real people, real actors, and same with animation too. You get like real performances. Versus comics is a temporal thing, so you get a better understanding of pacing and story, and just longer narratives and stuff. And then books are better for
rereadability.
Like, thoughts.
You can just go through a page without moving a fucking finger. You know.
Yeah. Whoa, that made a weird sound.
Yeah. Echo.
I love that. I'm out of water, so I'll probably refill in a second. But that's my take on books. Anyway, continue. I apologize. That was a whole tangent.
No, you're good. Because I think that's the thing with this show is, like, on one angle, I'm like, okay, it's more of a comedy show than anything else we've seen. So it's
really, I didn't know that.
It's like it's not a serious show. It is very much not a serious show.
I don't think I even watched. Did I watch the trailer? I don't think I watched the trailer.
You didn't even watch.
I think I only saw the trailer when it was on TV. I am so exhausted by Marvel TV that it takes a lot for me to watch trailers.
There is more comedy in this than... I don't know if all of it is especially amazing comedy, but like there's good comedy, but it is definitely more of a comedic show.
That's not like against Hawkeye. Hawkeye is a very goofy character in the comics.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw one page from the Fraction Aha run, which I need to read it. But just one page of just like it was 3 panels just on a single page and like very wide panels. Well, the top one was them being goofy little losers, all beat up and like being stupid, and then the middle panel was this crazy cool silhouette of them pulling back on the bow, and then the third panel was them being goofy losers again. Of just they're fucking badasses for half a second. Yep. And that's really cool.
And Tracksuit Mafia is funny. I will say Tracksuit Mafia is pretty funny because that's the Mafia is just called Tracksuit Mafia, and I think that's just great.
That's interesting.
But
and I'm interested to watch it. I think this seems like a show that is better waited for and binged.
It is. I think it is a better show waited for binge. Like, I'm gonna watch it serially.
I kind of wish Disney would do. I know Disney does their weekly things so that they can be in the discourse forever. They need to do it on a beat by beat, a show by show basis on what they do weekly and what they do all at once.
Like, What If should have been all at once, right?
Honestly.
Like, we can...
Honestly.
It needed to be all at once.
Loki could have been weekly. WandaVision should have been... WandaVision weekly, Captain America or Falcon and Winter Soldier, that could have been all at once. You know? Or I guess that's and I get it from a business perspective, but it is hurting the art. It is hurting the... It is, Yep. But at the same time, though, in the long run with these shows, with these streaming shows, even if they're released weekly, once this is over, once it's all out, that's when the show is like it's kind of what I was talking about with the movie theater, where it's like when you watch the show, you're gonna watch it all at once. You know, how often are you gonna you're not gonna wait a week when you're not gonna wait like in 2 years if you're like, I want to watch Hawkeye, or somebody's like, I want to finally watch Hawkeye. They're just gonna watch it all. So it's like, should you not judge the show?
They're not going to wait a week in between then,
Yeah.
It's like,
unless
it's something like The Flash, unless if they're maybe insane. Then you'll do it. But yeah. I need watching the way that the original fans
I need to really get a glass of wine and get in the movie theater experience. The full experience of waiting a full week. For a show that wasn't.
And I'm going to only watch the promo a week later, like before the release date. But yeah, I think the thing with Hawkeye, it has potential, and I like certain bits, and I really do. I dig the vibe a lot. The trailer sold me on the vibe. I really like the vibe of the show. The script needs to be better written. It's the dialogue. Some things that characters say, I'm like, fuck you for even saying that or putting that on a piece of paper and then having an actor say that. It just doesn't work right. But then it's like some lines are like, okay, that's fine, cool, whatever. I just think. I think it needs to be a little better paced and it needs to be a little better written, and then I will be fine with it. I think it's funny how this show that sold me on Kate Bishop is still keeping me kind of interested because of Clint Barton. I think that's kind of funny. But it is. I'm gonna keep watching and I'll give people updates, but. It is, from what I've seen so far of just 2 episodes, it is a show you binge once it's all over.
Yeah, I've been getting that. And honestly, I think most of the Marvel shows are like that too. Low-key, I had a much better experience watching it all at once than I would have weekly with that show.
Even though I think it's a little bit more meant for weekly, but you can binge it and be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Hawkeye. That's for the Marvel nerds who watch this fucking podcast.
I mean, it's like, I really wanted to be excited for it, but I think I would have been excited for it if not for the David Aha stuff. That absolute. Is it Aha? Actually, I'm assuming it's Aha because of Jay.
Aha, I think it is.
Okay. I think it is. I've never heard it spoken, so I apologize for that if I'm saying it wrong. I must that just killed it for me. Of how the fuck is this happening? And it's just it's such a problem in the industry, and I was thinking about it with that run. Again, I haven't read it, so I don't fucking know. But the arrows and the silhouettes and the colors, that's the run. That's the huge defining part of the run. And that run defined the modern idea of Hawkeye for a ton of comics fans. It's hugely defining because of that creative choice. And this decision to not credit, Matt Fraction's credited, right?
He is. He's a creative producer or something.
Oh, okay. So he's working. Yeah, he's getting paid for it at the very least. But David Ha's not, and that's the problem. He might. I heard he got a special thanks, which that's not. And so it's that decision to not pay them basically for their work, even though they have. Everybody will always jump to this defense of they don't have to pay them. They don't own the work and stuff because it's the property of the company. But it is incentivizing now. That decision is incentivizing creators to not do as many interesting things. Say you're writing a Spider-Man book, or say you're writing a Spider-Man book, and you think, oh, wouldn't it be really cool if you did something really crazy with the colors, or you did something really crazy with this visual language of how, like the webs, the spaghetti, or example, the spaghetti webs, the McFarlane spaghetti webs that completely redefined how people view Spider-Man's webs.
Yep.
Dude didn't get paid for it. And so it's like, it's almost incentivizing creators to not do interesting things with the stories anymore. Like, why would you? Why, if David Aja knew, I mean, I don't know, some creators are different, and everybody making art is different. But if David Aja knew that there was going to be a show about Hawkeye, and he was going to get fucking scammed out of it, and he wasn't going to get any money from it, and they were going to rip directly from his run, he wouldn't put as much effort in. He wouldn't do this style. He wouldn't do this beautiful art. He wouldn't do like this crazy, insane, out of the box solution, you know? And it's like, it's just pushing creators to make safe, boring comics, which then pushes people to stop reading comics.
Yeah, it's a cycle that feels.
It's a cycle, and it's like the companies are it's so fucked up, and I hate it. I'm so over it, and it's why Invincible was so successful, because Invincible did well because Kirkman was right there. Otley was right there. The other guy whose name I'm forgetting because I'm a piece of shit, and I haven't read the books in a while. He was right there. And they all got money for it, and they all influenced it. And it's, I don't know. I'm a big proponent of like, credit people.
And that's how you get normal people. Normal people watched Invincible. How many normal people are watching Hawkeye?
I mean, it's the MCU, so like there have to be a lot. It's not going to reach Invincible levels of success, I think.
Yeah.
And mainly and that might be because Marvel is overdoing it with the TV, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
Which I hope they take the lesson right and they dial back next year.
I don't think they will. I think in terms of money, I think they're still, because it's a matter of like, I gotta slow down a little bit because I'm like kind of a little too like crazy right now. It's a matter of like, from their perspective, they need to keep as many subscribers as possible. They just need to constantly pump out things to justify your $7 a month purchase or $8 a month purchase or whatever. And so they need to constantly do it, or else you're going to cancel your subscription and we're losing $8 a month. You know, or people will show up just for the free trial and then leave. Which honestly, I'm a big proponent of scamming companies using free trials. Fuck it, yeah. Love it. But I don't know. It's just like, so it's like they are not seeing anything impacting them. You know, if you are burned out by Marvel TV, unsubscribe from Disney Plus and stop watching Marvel TV. Yeah. You know, it's like, that's the only way they're going to see it, because it's like, oh, wait, fuck. People are tired of this. So they're unsubscribing. Yeah. And I think Disney and Marvel are only going to see that once it's too late, you know? And I don't know. That's my perspective, at least.
Yeah. I think with these shows, they need to slow down. They're probably not going to slow down.
Nope, absolutely not.
Or if they slow down, it's going to be a while. Because they didn't slow. It is weird what's happening with Star Wars too, because Star Wars did it right. They realized that they burned a lot of people out with oh no, I guess Mandalorian season 2 was but from the perspective they're like, okay, Boba Fett
now
show.
50 shows, you're right. That's true.
And it's Obi-Wan show, all this show.
Yeah, I haven't been following Star Wars. Even the Obi-Wan show seems promising, but Obi-Wan show seems okay. Star Wars in general has been more fan service over like story lately. Yeah. Like they showed off that concept art of like Obi-Wan fighting Darth Vader. Yeah. And it's like if it's a dream, that's cool. If it's a dream, I'm fine. Yeah. It doesn't seem like or people were making it out to not be a dream or a vision or whatever.
I think it'd be interesting if that fight happens in like their dream. Like it's
a force battle stuff. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But because it's like if they actually clash lightsabers. Did you not watch the fucking movie? Did you not the first one, the only one that really matters? That OG one. Like, I don't know. There's been I need to watch.
It feels like Rogue One.
I really need
because it is.
They saw success with fans from Rogue One and Force Awakens, and so they're constantly trying to do that of like, remember this, and there's another movie upcoming that I think is also trying to do that, but I don't know. I don't remember what movie that is. I think it's about like a spider guy or something, but I don't know. Yeah, we don't talk about.
I don't know what that's about.
But I need to watch.
Are they bringing back Spectacular? Is that what you're talking about? Are they
I wish, dude. Please. Yeah.
But yeah.
I'll bet you. I mean, well, okay. They're bringing
They
back
will
the
bring
90s
back
X-Men
Spectacular Spider-Man within the next 15 years.
Probably. It's
that is
going to be
theory.
not. I'm going to get it's going to be not as good. I'm
It's
sorry, everybody.
Not as good, but it is coming back in 15 years. At least 15
what
years.
What they need to do, I've told you this. I think I've said it on the podcast. If they're going to bring back Spectacular, it needs to be the Spectacular Spider-Gwen. Just a totally different show. You can't.
That's a good name too.
That is rad. I'm a big fan of that. I'll make a video on this. And it's funny because everybody's making fun of me for my Miles and Gwen stuff this week.
The whole thing.
This whole thing, yeah. But like trying to go back straight at, because it's like, okay, if you go back to Spectacular, what are the options, right? You just pick up right where we left off, and we're back in high school. Like the audience has grown up, but the show didn't. That's gonna be hard. It's still gonna be a good show. It's gonna be a very good high school Spider-Man show. There's a market for that.
That's the big thing with I think Young Justice season 3 is a good mark of what would potentially happen with Spectacular Spider-Man season 3.
We just cut to college,
and
that's
there
interesting.
Are so many things that season 3 do. I am working on a video on it. I will say, and I love some things about it. There are some things that just don't.
There's one very good episode, and that's it. Or fun,
is it
good
the Beast
moment.
Boy one? Are you talking about
the Wally scene?
Oh, that's my favorite moment, like in the show.
Yeah.
I think.
I thought it was a whole episode, but it's just a scene.
It's just that scene.
Yeah,
that episode.
But like,
sucks.
if Spectacular,
I'm gonna be honest.
Oh fuck. I don't remember that season. But yeah,
Spectacular came back. That scene was my favorite season. That episode sucks.
Yeah, it would either be just starting straight back off and not like adapting for the evolved fan base, or like being in college and being basically a different show. And it's like, why not just start fresh with that? You know? And I don't know. I just feel like I love, like, I don't know. I want it back. I'm just very concerned. That's really it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think you could bring back the magic of Spectacular while doing something fresh with it. By doing a Gwen show or a Miles. I really want an animated Miles show.
I think an animated Miles show fits well in the Spectacular universe.
Yeah, and have Peter be high school teacher. We had talked about this when they announced the freshman year show, but like is that not the perfect show? High school Spider-Man that's Miles, and then Peter is his teacher both in science and as Spider-Man. Yeah. Is that not the fucking coolest thing ever?
Why don't they do that?
Why won't they fucking do it?
It's
such a
in
basic
the comics
idea.
Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like make him your teacher in real life. Because as a CW show, that would work.
It would work great. They'd be like, they would be in class, and then he'd be like, Miles, can you stay after class for a little bit? And everybody'd be like, oh, Miles is in trouble. And he's like, we got the Rhino out in here. I'll cover for you. Get the fuck out of here. I have a test I have to proctor next period.
Because then here, you know how the CW only has a set amount of sets, right?
Yeah.
It would
love
be
high school.
The science classroom.
Yep.
It would be the teacher's lounge.
Yeah, teacher's lounge.
There would be the because Gwen would also somehow be a teacher or some shit. Someone else would be a teacher.
Or they'd have Gwen as like another student, you know, because
or something.
Actually, I want your opinion. What is your opinion on Miles and Gwen in a relationship?
It's interesting. I think it's better when it is like different realities. I feel like if it's in the reality of it, like, because like, didn't they kind of try to do that with Ultimate? Like I don't know if they did a Miles Gwen relationship, but it was kind of like Gwen was with Peter. And then they broke. Like Peter's relationships in Ultimate were so fucking weird. Like, because it was like it was very much MJ, but then it was like also Gwen was there for a bit. Yeah, and then I did like Kitty Pryde. That was charming, but we didn't explore that enough.
Yeah.
And
actually,
then there was.
It's ironic because the Kitty Pryde relationship is exactly what they're doing with the Tom Taylor Superman run.
Really?
With his little boyfriend that looks like shit, who is ugly as fuck.
Yeah. Who looks like a Fortnite character. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I love that book. I love the art in that book. Yeah. That dude is fucking ugly. He looks like a Fortnite character. He's gotta go.
He's like Superman.
But he's got the Kitty Pryde like I can't be touched, and they do some interesting stuff with like, I'm in a relationship with somebody that cannot be hurt, so I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to have and people were like, oh my god, Soy Boy, Superman.
One moment where she like dons a new costume and they like crime fight together is like my favorite little like thing.
That's really fun. It was a fun.
Ultimate Spider-Man does a lot of things that are really good.
It's not like Endgame, or it's Endgame, huh? It's not like the Endgame relationship for the two, obviously, but like it's a fun little side thing of like, there was some interesting stuff that they did, and that's what relationships need to be in comics, just pushing characters and doing interesting stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. But then in that, it's like it's weird because Peter is technically in Ultimate like. And now our interpretation of Peter dying in like an ultimate version because of Spider-Verse is like he was Spider-Man for a bit and then like he died. But like in Ultimate, he died as a kid. He died
as a child. Yeah.
He died
crazy. I like really, and like that's kind of like, what if they did that in the movies? Would like they could? There's like perpetually. There's like, and this is kind of fun. They've said there has been a precedent set that Spider-Man can die as a child, and as fucked up as it sounds, I'm kind of into that.
Yeah,
you know,
just because it's like
any moment, in any like No Way Home, it's not going to happen, but there is a chance they're going to kill Tom Holland and bring in Miles. Yeah. There's a chance. It's not going to happen. And I don't know if I want to happen just yet.
I do think they will kill Tom Holland by the sixth movie.
And then bring him back in the next, in a movie or two later as
because he is in another universe and he's back as Ben Reilly
comes
or
back
something.
Oh God, yeah.
And he can come back as like something because why not?
But like, no, I totally like that's a very interesting thing that they did with Ultimate, and that's just because they just had to be different because as 616 started ripping off Ultimate.
Yeah. It's just weird because in that context you view Miles and Gwen being kind of buddy in Ultimate, and you're like, well,
it's a little
that's
weird.
This is
Peter's Gwen, and it's like you kind of
and it's so if it's like that, it's weird.
Yeah,
I feel like
Spider-Verse,
you could do something
Spider-Gwen from the other universe.
Where she's like young and then Miles is like young.
I used to be a really big fan of it. I used to be like fucking in love with that idea. And I made the Spider-Man 2 video where like I did that, and like now I'm like thinking about it, I'm just like, it's not as interesting anymore to me. Mainly because they introduced Haley in the game, and Haley's great. Haley's a really fun character,
and you can ride with that.
And you have a fresh character, and you have interesting new stuff, and it's like that's something that Peter never had. Exactly. But I don't hate when they have like a little bit of a relationship and stuff. You know?
I feel like there's a way, and I have a pitch for a Spider-Man movie that basically does a bit of Before Sunrise, but with Peter and Betty Brant. Oh. There is a place to take Betty Brant and make her like I'm not talking like the MCU versions. I'm talking about like create your own versions. Yeah. She's a brunette, something like that. Yeah. And like
Elizabeth
there's
Banks.
An interesting way to like say like, because Peter's so into photography, right? And like obviously we've seen how the MCU just fucking MCU
that he's an artist.
Everyone forgot about it basically.
Yep.
And it's like there's a way to like do a movie with just Peter and Betty walking around, and like Peter has to sneak off every so often to go fight some crime, and Betty's like, what the fuck is up with you, man? Like while they're going on the whole movie is just Peter and Betty on a date, but Peter has to keep leaving.
Like Spider-Man Blue, that'd be really funny.
Yeah. And I feel like there's a way to do that, but like they will never do it because it's too low budget. But I want Peter to be in relationships with different people.
I never thought about like Betty Brant being the relationship that like pushes like the creativity photography side. But like I would really like a story where it's like, because I mean I've said this before, I'm really over like STEM Peter. It's just not interesting anymore. There's too many scientists. I'm all for
Make
STEM.
him a high school teacher who heads the photography club.
I'm fine with him being the science teacher. I think that's a good way to do it, because teaching is affect, just creativity involved with teaching. But it's like Peter they forgot he's an artist. You know, and that artistic side is so much more relatable to me than
they forgot that he doesn't just think about chemistry bonds.
Yeah, and I think it'd be really interesting to have a story where Peter's like, wait, I really love photography. I forgot.
That would work great in your high school Peter and Miles show.
Yeah,
like over time, he's like. No, you do the Glee Club thing where he's a high school teacher, but he wants to head the photography.
He's like, photography. Oh, I won the national championship back in the 1990s. And that was the best moment of my life, including the time when I married my wife and she announced she was pregnant.
And then
spoilers for Glee, by the way, from a show from 10 years ago, that she wasn't pregnant. You know that, right?
She wasn't?
She wasn't really pregnant. She was lying.
What the fuck?
Yeah, she was a horrible person. She was an awful person. Yeah.
Okay.
Spoilers for Glee. I mean, it didn't start out as a lie. It was a hysterical pregnancy where she wanted it so bad that she faked it. But then she continued the lie with Will, and she tried to like steal a baby away from a teenager. Essentially, it's really fucked up. She's a terrible person. Shitty wife.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, back to Spider-Man.
But you need a high school show.
Glee. I'm telling you, Glee is the best Spider-Man show.
So if you do that with Peter, what do you do with Miles in the show?
Maybe Peter. I don't know, because This is what they did with Miles. So okay, Spider-Verse Miles, they pushed the art, which made him great, and the game pushed the music, and it was awesome. And like, because up until then he was just Peter, scientist guy. And so like that has kind of been the distinction, and maybe that's why they've been pushing STEM Peter so much, because he's like the fucking, because it's like just
science
a different
dude, and then
science dude, music guy, or art guy, you know?
Yeah.
Like kind of like Jon Stewart versus Kyle Rayner and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I think there's something
Jon Stewart, the TV show host.
Yes, of course. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I think there's something you could do with like Peter's the one to push Miles and be like, hey, I can tell you don't like science. I can tell this isn't for you. There's always a choice in life, and like maybe it's just because like that's a realization I had to make of like I assumed I had to be an engineer and I assumed that was a shit, but then like lately I found a passion in, it's YouTube, but it's essentially filmmaking, like in filmmaking and in this creative side, and it's like you could have both, you can do both. And the society will want to box you and put you in a box and put you in you're a nerd or you're an artist or you're making money or you're not making money. And like, I don't know, it's why I really love Raimi Peter so much, because like he's a scientist. He loves science. It's a hobby to him. He joins fucking, he works for Dr. Connors a little bit and stuff until he gets fired. But like Peter was like, I love photography. He's talking with MJ, and she's like, "Hey, what do you want to do after high school?" And he's like, "I want to get a job as a photographer."
He basically did OnlyFans before all the other fucking people did, because he takes pictures of himself in spandex. So,
but no, like I don't know. I just artist Peter is always going to be more relatable to me than uber genius science Peter that can solve everything with science all the time. It's just like that's not as human.
That was the most fucked up part of that show. It was kind of like, every single time I do the thing that I learned in the science, and I did the thing and I got into the rich high school.
It's because the point of that show was to push kids into STEM, and it is always good to get kids interested in STEM and stuff. But it's also important to push kids into the arts. The arts are equally as important. I'm a huge believer in that. Okay, when I have kids, I will have this I will lecture them on this if I ever have kids. There's, you know how everybody will be like, why do I have to learn this in school? Why do I have to learn history and English? I already know English. Why do I have to learn about Macbeth and all this shit?
I'm speaking English right now.
Yeah, like they'll be, and it's like, why am I not learning about taxes and mortgages and stuff? And I'm of the belief that like, of course it would be nice for schools to teach a little bit more practical stuff in public schools and stuff. It would be,
and sometimes schools do a little bit too harsh on the specific like requirements, you know. Yeah, there's like you have to take 4 years of math when you just go into
public schools have their own issues and there's problems with it. But I'm also of the belief that a more educated society is a better society. If everybody knows basic media literacy, Spider-Man Twitter would be great. You know, if everybody
that's never happening.
I know, exactly. But if everybody had a general understanding of how to analyze media and how to have good faith interpretations of, even if it wasn't the intent, this is a theme that is coming across in the media. You know, even if that's not the full intent, this is something, you know, if everybody knew how to do that, things would be better for discourse. If everybody knew what cells were, because everybody, you know, people would have a better understanding of vaccines. The more educated people are, the better the world is. Even if it's not all fully practical things that you're going to use on a daily basis, you know?
Because the things you learn that you just keep in the back of your head because you learned them when you were developing.
And I believe the same is with the arts, you know? If every single child tries painting, if 100 kids try painting and 99% of them are like, I fucking hate this, I shouldn't be learning this in school. But one of them is like, wait, I really like painting. And then they become a fucking crazy, talented, super impactful creator and artist. You did your job.
Also, those 99 people appreciate painting more.
They know how it goes. They know how it works, and they're like, "Oh wow, I see a painting, and it's hard to make a painting." Those things.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think that like Spider-Man media should be either using with Miles or with Peter, just instead of always trying to push kids into STEM. Push kids into STEM. Push kids into following their dreams. What they're good at and what they like. And it's very interesting.
It's not the same,
was
but
so
the Bat
close
family
to doing
kind of is that. Right?
Batman,
a
really?
bit. Not the entire Bat family, but it's kind of the thing of like everyone has their kind of quirks in the Bat family.
Yeah.
That like everyone in some way, shape, or form in the Bat family, other than maybe even Batman, but they're kind of a self-insert, you know? Some people are more like Nightwing, some people are more like Jason, some people are more like Tim, some people are more like Stephanie, some people are more like Cass. You know, it's you kind of self-insert yourself into that. And I feel like with Spider-Man versions evolving more and the Spider-Man becoming more of a Spider family, you kind of want to have that too, where some people are more like Spider-Man, some people are more like Miles, some people are more like Gwen, some people are more like fucking Peter Parker, you know? It's like you want to have that kind of
a little John Mulaney
distinction.
A little bit, yeah.
We're a little bit of John Mulaney, yes. A lot of us kind of accidentally go into auditions and start screaming the F word, but then we realize later on that it's a children's movie. Yeah.
No, I totally agree. And like I think it's been very strange to me how it's like these characters, the new characters have existed for like 10 years. Even as if you include Ben and like Silk even further back than that. You know,
if anyone can truly wear the mask, then show us all those people that can.
Show them wearing the mask instead of just and like the fact that we've never had a Spider Family book that is ongoing, or Spider Men book, even just with Peter and Miles ongoing, not like a Bendis event issue or whatever. Like it's such a waste of the characters, I think. And it feels like a little like...
And if Peter is so special, then do it with all the other characters, I guess is the idea.
If Peter... But it's like... but so many great Spider-Man media has proven Peter is special in his own ways and shit as a person, but Peter is not Spider-Man. Peter is the first Spider-Man in the same way that Jay Garrick is the first Flash, you know? But it's like some people are better Spider-Man than Peter. And that doesn't make him a better character.
I think it's kind of like how... If Peter is Spider-Man and then Miles is kind of like Wally, where some people just like
Miles is the Wally of Spider-Man, and Peter is the Barry, and Peter should be treated more like... Peter and Barry are actually very similar in that they are both nerdy dads, you know, that they should be treated like nerdy, and they should have grown up to be nerdy dads. But Barry has been, they constantly trying to age him down to be more like Wally, and like Bart is a lot like I don't fucking know. Bart and Mayday are very similar.
Yeah.
You know?
I was going to say John Mulaney. Yeah.
But it's like you could argue Bart Allen is the best Flash because he's the fastest, because he's the one that did the most shit. Or you could argue that Wally in Kingdom Come was a perfect Flash because he made the city perfect.
Yeah.
You know, and he was a god, you know, like, but it's like, you know, I don't know. People are like to attach the hero identity to the quality of a character. You know, and it's like Peter isn't the only Spider-Man. Peter's not the best Spider-Man. Peter might be your favorite Spider-Man for whatever reason. Peter has grown. I don't know. There are times when I'm like, Peter isn't my favorite Spider-Man. I made that whole video that is very funny that people were mad at me when I talked about Miles in this video, but they didn't say anything when I talked about Miles in that one video. Where it's just like, there are times when I'm like, if you're writing a story, sometimes it's better to put Miles in than Peter. Just from a logistics point of view, either for visual reasons or for just representation reasons, or for like you have a high school Spider-Man. He is there already. You don't have to make another one with Peter. We're over it. You know, I
feel like there might be also this pressure, I think, with Miles too, to make a story that is so integrally tied to like, okay, he's a African American Latino person.
His culture is very important.
Do you have to do that every time? I don't think you so. Do. I think you can just do a high school story.
I think initially, right now, I think there's like, my perspective is like if you're gonna tell a Spider-Verse, if you're gonna tell a Miles Morales story where it's like that is a key part of those stories, you should probably get people of color working on that because they know what they're talking about and they know what they're doing. But if it's like a writer is like, hey, I want to tell a high school Spider-Man story. Marvel should be like, does it have to be first Spider-Man Peter Parker, or can it be Miles? And then if anybody should be like, oh, it could be Miles. Yeah, I'll do Miles. You know, that's really all you need to fucking do. Oh, instead of a scientist, he makes music.
Wrote Miles. He wasn't.
Yeah, granted, Bendis is the thing with Bendis was it was like Bendis only Bendis wrote Miles for like 6 years, and it's like it finally became interesting when somebody else besides Bendis wrote Miles. I like Bendis. Bendis is I mean, I don't love his writing, but like as a dude, he seems like a good guy with good intentions. It was his baby, so it's like I understand. But also like the second Miles was written by Ahmad, I think their name is. I can't remember the current writer for Miles. The comics became far more interesting. The game became far more interesting. And Spiders far more interesting, you know.
I mean, also the movie doesn't really make it about him being black, you know. It's like it's just kind of a part of that.
It's a part of a lot of his character is but like it's like defining. I don't know. It's like ideally,
part of it also he's going to an uptowny school.
Ideally, we would have had
so
6 years
of like
like
seeps in.
Yeah, I don't know. Ideally, we would have had like 6 years of Miles being written by I don't want to say exclusively people of color, but people that like fully understood it and fully understood what makes him special. And then now at this point, it could be like, okay, we get it. Everybody gets it. We know who Miles is as a character. If you just want to write a fun Spider-Man thing, give it to anybody, you know?
Yeah.
But the problem is like, we still haven't reached that yet. Yeah. Miles is only now just starting to get interesting, and any story that is written by somebody that doesn't fully understand the full background of what it's like to be this character, they're gonna not do harm, but they're not gonna fully reach it, reach the level that they probably
and it's gonna keep delaying that speed.
Yeah, exactly. When we get to that point. But then it's like, at what point do we finally understand like Miles is Miles? We know him yet, you know?
Yeah.
Actually, wait,
we're slowly getting there.
No. The main writing team of Miles of the game was people of color, but the game director, the creative director was he was white, and he was like, that shows that game's great. So
so But in our hypothetical, before we get, because I asked also for questions. But before we get into that,
did you ask questions?
I did.
Look at you, so much more responsible than me.
It was only 6. I did it like right as we started. But before we get into that, in our hypothetical, Peter's a high school teacher. That is the owner of the trying to get into photography club. Miles is a science kid who fucking shit at his science classes. Like AP chemistry is fucking mistake. He shouldn't have been in AP chemistry. If the show happens, that's the joke, is that he's fucking shit at AP chemistry, and Ned is really good at it.
Good to know.
Who's the villain? Because I have a hot take.
Hit me with your hot take. Is it that you don't want it to be Prowler?
No villain.
No villain. No overarching villain, or no villains at all?
No overarching villain, at least for the first season. Later on, you can introduce some stuff, but for the most part, it's just like small timey stuff. And then like maybe the whole point of the show though is that it's like just Peter and Miles kind of, and the end of it is him having I want the final climactic moment to be like Miles basically having an argument with Peter to be like, I don't want to be in your class anymore. Like, I want to drop this class. And Peter's like, but we're Spider-Man.
You can't, you're in high school.
You know?
You can't.
That's right. Fuck. Yeah, that's true. We'll work around it. It's like a semester class or some shit.
Yeah.
But I guess that is a
villain
cop-out
would be
answer
very
too,
interesting.
I'm like,
no villain would be very, like, no overarching plot would be very interesting, making it very personal.
But I guess if you had to, I mean,
if I had to, and like, it feels so basic. Oscorp is just such a good villain. Osborn is such a good fucking villain, man. I can't say no. I can never say no to Osborn. It's the only reason.
Build up. Do you want to build up to Osborn, or do you think it's good to kind of just
build up to Goblin? But I don't think you need to build up to Norman.
Yeah, just in general.
Osborn, really, I'm gonna say it. The only reason I would ever be excited for No Way Home is to see him again. The only reason. He is not on the level of Reverse Flash to me, but he is close.
He's as mean.
I love his villains. He's as like, I mean, it's just that Reverse Flash has time travel, and that makes it much more scarier.
Yeah.
But like, cause you could, oh god, I'm like obsessed. And this is gonna be a whole video, I bet. Like, you could
Tom
do some
Cavanaugh's
cool stuff.
Norman Osborn.
What?
Tom Cavanaugh's Norman Osborn. Do you see it? Kind of see it.
But like, you could do some cool stuff with like, maybe Miles gets the black suit and Peter already had it, you know? And Peter's like, stop, get that fucking off of you. And Miles is like, no. You know, I think, I don't know. It's like, they were very close with Renew Your Vows. The one where he and MJ were married and had a kid. Yeah. That book was very, very close. But they did a time jump, and it kind of killed all that momentum. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting stuff that you could do with that. And I don't know. It's just like frustrating. Like, freshman year looks fun. If it's in the homemade suit and it's like that really cool anime style that we were talking about, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But just like, there is a perfect gold show that is perfectly modern, perfectly gets where the character is at now as opposed to 10 years ago. And like, I would be much more interested in seeing that, you know?
I feel like there's a way to do Dr. Connors. Like, if Peter's a high school teacher and Dr. Connors like
the
professor,
way to do it? You know the way to do it?
There's
the way they're doing it now. where I don't know now. I'm so far behind on the Spencer run, but Connors is always the lizard and is always fully intelligent, and he's just a high school teacher now.
That's funny.
Or no, he's a college teacher or something. He's just a scientist still, and it's like the lizard, and he's just
kind of funny.
And he's just like, hey, I'm smart.
Does he get like tantrums and shit, or is he just still
I don't think I read anything like going. Well, no, there was an arc with lizard, but I skipped it because I couldn't handle the art. It was just really like visually, I just couldn't watch it.
Is it the Invincible art? Like, is it that kind of thing, or is it different?
It was just very just crazy
sketchy
art. Like, it's not as sketchy almost, but just like it's ugly and intentionally ugly, and like it's good art and stuff. But I just my brain, I was like, I can't read this.
You can't go for too long. Yeah.
So I think I ended up skipping that arc and stuff with him, but like, because also Spencer's run, I really loved it at the start. It has been spending so much time on trying to undo things that it's not actually making any progress. You know, that's been my issue with this whole run. I haven't heard
of it. You know, when's the last time I heard about Spider-Man comics? When you did the old podcast and talked about Carnage. That's the one time
that was way back then. I forgot about that arc.
That is the one time I remember people talking like about Spider-Man comics.
People were definitely talking about it with this new stuff that's going on, which I haven't read.
Oh well, I just haven't heard about it.
They're overdoing trying to explain One More Day. They're overdoing with the retcons, and they're over. It's just like, this has been my issue with the Spencer Spider-Man run for so long, and my friend loves it for this. Austin, the old host of the show. He loves it for this reason. Yeah, you killed him. Yeah, exactly. I remember when you DM'd me and you're like, somebody was posting old episodes of the podcast. This storytelling Flair guy, who the fuck should I copyright strike him? It was very funny to me. But like, he loves it for this reason, and it's the reason I can't get into it. It's like, it is so obsessed with the past. It is so obsessed with references and the lore and like bringing things back from old issues and justifying things and retconning things to make the perfect quote unquote timeline that nothing has happened. Not a single, the beginning of this run started with Peter being like, I think I want to propose to MJ. And we are like 70 issues in, and that has not happened. We just found out who Kindred was. Yeah. You know? And it's just like, really? I'm like, I liked what it was doing at first of like trying to fix issues from the slot run, which I don't have issues. I don't love the slot run. It's fine. It's not terrible. It's okay. Yep. And like, it was trying to fix stuff, and I liked that.
Industries.
Cough. It was trying to fix that, and I liked that, but then it just kept doing that perpetually. And I'm just like, do something new. Do something with this idea of an intelligent lizard who's
because now you're paying teacher. Like what, fucking $5 a week, not a week, a month for like this issue of a comic that isn't
that has only just been retconning the timeline that I don't know because I haven't read every Spider-Man comic. Because nobody has, and nobody should. I don't recommend it.
I think Spider-Man, like, maybe this is the wrong way to say this. Superior Spider-Man was a big shakeup, and Parker Industries was a big shakeup.
Yeah.
Spider-Man comics need a big shakeup.
Yeah,
I don't know what that shakeup is. I don't love
Parker Industries. I really don't like it, but it isn't terrible. It's fine. It's like it did
revitalize Spider-Man comics.
It did. It did interesting stuff. That it's like, what if Peter was a Tony Stark? You know, he's less interesting, and we have figured that out. And I'm glad that they tried it. You know, I'm not mad at Slaughter or anything. I was just really not into it, and it was kind of like what did you expect to happen? You know?
Yeah.
Like, of course he's going to be less interesting. But it was at least doing something. And Superior was great. We need another Superior Spider-Man for sure. And I wonder if maybe that's killing Peter and making Miles main Spider-Man for like a while.
That would be... But then, you know, inevitably they bring him back, and that's a whole thing. And then there'd
be other spin-offs with Peter in like in some other thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, it's what they're doing with
I think you need... What you need, and you said it right in your video... Spider-Man needs to take care of a kid. Like, he needs to
That's
baby.
what he needs,
That's what
they could do with that show! I'm losing my voice right now. I'm running out of water.
Yeah.
That show could fucking... Maybe the end of season 1 is MJ being like, I'm pregnant. like fucking, and then Peter's like, oh shit, I can't afford this, I'm a teacher.
And then the villain of the second season is the baby.
Yeah. Let's go, the baby, homophobic.
He releases his album.
He's like, anybody that's not a fucking Spider-Man fan, put your phone up in the air.
Yeah. What's Spider-Man's social media presence like in this show? Does he have? I think about this sometimes.
I think Miles is verified. Peter is not.
Okay, that's funny.
That's my favorite. We were talking about this last week. My favorite fucking thing in the comics right now is that Miles is more of a popular Spider-Man than Peter is.
Than he is.
It's so fucking funny.
Yep.
Because it's just like, of course, because Miles is cooler.
Do you know what I think would be really funny, like a meta commentary? Peter gets a Spider-Man Twitter. But like he hates Spider-Man Twitter, like
asshole.
He hates his fans on Twitter,
or like,
and so he leaves Twitter. Like he privates his Twitter. He's like, I can't deal with this anymore.
It's the Daily Bugle Twitter. That's a meta commentary, and they're like, we love Spider-Man, but fuck this guy.
Yeah.
That'd be really funny.
I want to see like some Spider-Man Twitter meta commentary, but then the real Spider-Man Twitter will get pissy over fake Spider-Man Twitter meta commentary.
Of course, you say Spider-Man Twitter sucks, and then Spider-Man Twitter's like, hey, no, fuck you, and then threatens to kill you or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And proves you right.
Yeah.
Which again, by the way, reminder everybody, I'm not on Twitter because it sucked, but that Spider-Man Twitter video, if it happens, because I'm actually considering not doing it, I will figure it out. It's not going to be the video I expect it to be. That's what I'm saying. It's not a drama.
I have heard about this video, and people on Twitter have been going stupid.
I've been working on this video for like 3 months now, by the way. Yeah. For a while.
Yeah.
So it's not the video that you expect. It is more of a Bailey video than anything, actually.
That's a very good angle.
Empathy, baby. Empathy first.
Empathy first. That is my favorite thing that Bailey has just spurred is like empathy first is like icon.
Empathy first.
That's cool.
Yeah. You have to view everything with empathy or else you're a piece of shit.
Spider-Man Twitter.
No, it's just Spider-Man Twitter, yeah.
Same thing.
You literally, it's like, how hard is it to just take a second and be like, why did this happen? And
why did I tweet 2 tweets that are both paragraphs long about this thing that doesn't matter?
I don't know. I'm just like okay. I'm so like over toxicity, and I will jokingly be like, how it didn't ask because like I didn't, and like some people
did ratio,
and I did ratio, but it's like and it's like some people are just assholes to be assholes, and I'm just like ratio people that are assholes, Yeah. I'm of the opinion it's like if you're an asshole to me, I will be an asshole to you. But like I also am just like, why? What do you gain from like calling somebody names about Spider-Man? I don't know. I don't get it, man. I'm just so sick of it. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Going back to Superman Twitter.
Yeah, go back to Superman Twitter. And let's add more toxicity to Batman Twitter because Batman Twitter's been quiet.
No, it's crazy. Batman Twitter is hella toxic at me. Whenever,
really? I don't see any of it.
Maybe I just have maybe I do have shit takes. Maybe that's the take.
I think I got bad takes. Have shit takes. Yeah. I think you need to read. You just need to redo your entire channel to have less shit takes.
I'm gonna be like Soups. I'm just gonna do reactions. I'm gonna be like, yo, it's Jerry.
I need you to recreate the video where you fold open the shirt, you stand up.
That'd be the funniest thing in the fucking world, actually. What
if that's how you open the Spider-Man Fans video? Whoa, that's how you open it.
God, let's go. Me watching Seinfeld and Kramer steps in. Yo, Kramer!
Kramer! It's Kramer! It's Kramer! Yeah. Marissa Tomei!
Marissa Tomei! What was I even fucking say? I lost my train of thought.
We talked about so much shit. That was actually fun, pitching a Spider-Man show like that.
No, it was. I think that's a video there. That's like, I don't, the comics have been so stagnant since Parker Industries, honestly.
Yeah.
And like Parker Industries wasn't the right direction, but it was a direction.
That's why Spider-Man Twitter just keeps fucking talking about the movies because there's nothing else to really talk about right now.
Like, and like the comics have been fine. I mean, like I don't like what they're doing, but it's like you crazy have to
that
be
comics aren't really doing
fan.
anything right now when the biggest movie is coming out.
They're doing big stuff for their own storyline, but to read that storyline, you have to be kind of a super fan. You have to have read books from the 80s and 90s to understand it. Like my friend like Austin was pitching me and like I had a good time with this and stuff and whatever, But he was pitching me like these arcs, and he was like, yeah, you have to actually read this arc from the 70s first to understand the current arc that's going on. And I'm like, okay, so I just can't read I have to read. Yeah. And like they're classic arcs and they're important and stuff. But it's like, I don't want to read it yet. I just want to pick up the new stuff and understand what's going on. And it's like, you can't sometimes.
Which Parker Industries kind of was that.
Parker Industries was that. And it wasn't good. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
But like, it was at least something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the real issue with Parker Industries was the lack of MJ, which that's a whole other conversation, is that she was just gone because Slott hated MJ.
Because she was with Tony Stark, right? Or whatever.
Yeah, it was weird. It was really weird.
Weird thing.
Yeah, that's when I was just starting to get into comics. It was very weird, like starting to read comics, and then your favorite character was in a run that you really didn't like.
Oh, yeah.
That didn't have any of the characters you enjoyed. Yeah. That's why Spidey was the best. That run. Yeah. Like, I didn't like High School Peter, but like that run was great. Yeah. That's what Homecoming should have been. Just saying it. That's what MCU Spider-Man should have been. Just Spidey. Yeah. It was fun. It was a modern like retelling of his early days with like his first interactions with characters. Yeah, you should read Spidey. It's like a little cringe. I have a take. Oh,
I saw the cringe.
I have a take.
Is the thing where he meets a guy who looks like Ned? Is that in Spidey?
No, that's I think it's the same team, but it's
But it's different.
Something. It's like some camp, something like that. It's one of those things that they made for MCU fans.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's Web of Spider. No, Web of Spider is a different thing. I don't remember. I have a take. Are you ready to hear this? I don't know how you feel about this. Spider-Man needs to stop taking selfies. It's not. It doesn't work.
As someone who plays a game, as you being someone who plays this game,
no, I know, and it's like that's the worst part of that photo mode.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like it's fine. I get it. He's a teenager. I get it. Whatever.
Yeah.
That feels
people don't take selfies anymore. People don't take selfies.
Like it's not a meme. Anymore. It's selfies.
Yeah.
And it just so it remember you remember the fucking Sony leaks, the emails. Yeah. That has the same vibe, does it not?
I had to
the kids are really into taking selfies these days. Can we show Spider-Man taking a selfie at the end of Far From Home?
What's kind of fun? So I had to do a presentation for something, like something in my Indian community where I live. And like we were hosting this like big festival thing, and I was one of the co-hosts. And I was like, I pitched this whole thing that was like a satire comedy thing off of like other Indian movies that people watched and stuff, as like, or like, because I was emceeing it with these two other people, and they were like, yeah, we like the idea, but we don't know about this, but we'll see. And then all the ideas they pitched were like, remember that time that Ellen took a selfie at the Oscars? We'll do that. And like these were like 11th grade high school girls, and I was like a fucking 9th grader, and I'm like,
it feels very focus group. Yeah,
that's what it was.
Speaking of focus group, focus. You did not watch Tick Tick Boom, did you?
I did, actually.
You did.
Yes, I did. I thought it was really good. Yep. I didn't love it as much as every single person.
Yep,
but I thought it was really good.
I love the story.
I find myself humming 3090
I love the script. I love 3090. I love the music. I love the performances. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's like 90% of the movie, but it's like it doesn't hit as much as it could, you know? Like,
yeah, it's slow. It is slow.
It's slow.
I think it needs to be a little faster.
Yeah, but I mean, the fucking the what's it called? Suburbia was the show he was making.
Yeah, Suburbia. Yeah. The
fucking killer. Those scenes, fantastic. That was the music in that. I love that they recorded those. I love that,
alternate between. We could fuck Vanessa Hudgens for the shit that she says sometimes, but that was really good.
It was great. It was really good. Yeah, I'm like I like, as a theater guy, it's fucking rad. Like, but like, I mean, you're the movie maker. Direction wise, did it really wow you at all?
Direction wise, it was cool. I think because Lin-Manuel's directing it, and I know people were like, Lin-Manuel Miranda is directing it. It's weird. I thought it was fine direction. I didn't see the problem, but I also think the movie wasn't on his back. As much as people think the movie was not on his back, the movie was on the back of the cinematographer, the choreographer, Andrew Garfield. I think that's what this movie was on the back of, and also the music. Because it's kind of a basic premise, I want to say. The musician learns that he needs to be comfortable with the art that he's making, and that like nothing ever comes like that fast. So it's like, it's a basic premise, but I mean, it's a real story, and they translate.
It's a real story. It's a very interesting story. It's a really tragic story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like resonated with the message and the themes of it. Yeah, but it's just like, do you see what I'm talking about? With,
I think part of that slow pacing was the direction, because Lin-Manuel Miranda comes from Broadway, where everything is long.
Yeah,
and everything, like, I think you were saying it right, where you see people's characters. Yeah, you see the reactions. You have to see them, and they're a little bit too intense.
Yeah,
you know,
like the performances are a little too like he expects us to be 100 feet away from the people, but really we're in their face. Yeah, and it's like, okay, exactly. I get it,
and it
might just be. It's hard to say though, because it's like I started watching, I was like, oh, this is a big performance, but maybe Jonathan Larson was that big. Maybe that's the kind of person he was. But so then it's like, and I think at first I was like, is Andrew Garfield overacting? Is that what's going on here? And I wasn't sure, because to me, Joker is a movie where Joaquin Phoenix overacts. Yeah, I see it. You know, I think he overacts in that movie. Yep. And this gave me similar vibes, but then I read it up and it seems like he is. That's very much the point of it. But then it's when the other characters also overact that you're like, you know, and not all of them do, but like, Michael, right? Yeah. The other guy. There are bits where I'm like, okay, that's a lot. And it very well might just be like they're fucking musical theater people in New York. They're gonna be extra. So, that's how it is.
That's part of it. Yeah. And it's like, but it's hard to get used to that.
It's hard. It's like very
the slow pacing doesn't help with that, because
when you see like the title and the text and the way the marketing is, it makes it look like this very grounded, like surreal, like not surreal, like very realistic. It's like, it's not Hairspray, you know? No. Like it's this very realistic approach. It looks like it's going to be
the color palette is very dark. It's like very sepia.
How many cameos did you recognize in the diner scene?
I recognized like 3, because I'm not a Broadway fan. But I was
I cannot overstate that every other shot was a cameo. Yeah. It was just so weird.
That it felt like every person on there was supposed to be important, and I was like, okay. And then they keep that scene just goes on.
Was it just the Hamilton girls?
I think it was just the Hamilton people. Yeah. And then there's one person that I recognized from something. I didn't know what it was. It was an old guy, I think. But then I was like, and I thought it was like, was he in Before Sunrise? But no. It's not Ethan Hawke. But then the fucking the thing happens and the musical number keeps going, and I'm like, what's the point of the scene? Like,
yeah. Okay, you also that's very funny, because you don't get the diner scene you're talking about.
Yeah, the diner scene.
That's a parody of a very famous Sondheim song. Which rest in peace, Stephen Sondheim, fucking legend.
Yeah, that came out.
It sucks.
It's kind of weird how it was timed. Like, this came out and then that happened.
Yeah, but, I hope he was able to watch it, because like I think that movie did a very good job of presenting him as like the legend that he is. Because like
he was a big part of like
crazy. Dude was helping this guy. Dude was a phenomenal creator in every way. You know? Yeah. But
I didn't think it was funny. The fucking Stephen Sondheim and that other guy.
So Sunday Brunch in the Park with George is a parody of Sunday in the Park with George.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So and that's it's the Sunday song where it's like it builds up like crazy. Yeah. That's the song, and it's about a painting. It's a very mature show. So it was very funny to be like Sunday Brunch. It's if you get the joke, it's very funny. It is. It's very interesting to see the perspective of not having gotten the joke. Oh, I promised Christian and I think CJ that we would talk about it on the podcast. Oh, yeah. I'm not on Twitter, so
yeah.
That's what they get for living in Australia.
Yeah. Which, speaking of, do we want to get a question? CJ asked us a question.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Actually,
we're going to questions.
I'm getting my water really quick.
Go get your water. In the meantime, I will stall. Hello, everyone. My name is Mithi, and I'm currently stalling. Have you guys got your Spider-Man No Way Home tickets yet? Bunch of fucking Europeans got their Spider-Man No Way Home tickets. Little weird PSA. Hassan was telling me about this. Cineworld. A lot of people who bought their tickets were upcharged, like in like increments of like $3 $60 payments. So if that happened to you, pay attention to your bank, because that might have happened to you if you bought Cineworld tickets. And I think Cineworld fucked up, and I do think they will probably revert it. But I do want to make sure people pay attention. And also, holy fuck, Before Sunrise is trending. Why is Before Sunrise trending? I need to know why Before Sunrise is trending. I do not know why Before Sunrise is trending. That's funny. But yeah, anyway, are Spider-Man tickets out? They're out currently right now. You are not listening to this live, but they are currently out right now.
What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking
I was talking about Spider-Man No Way Home tickets. Supposedly people who ordered their tickets on Cineworld got kind of scammed a bit. Not completely, not scammed, because they got their tickets, But like they got like
sale
3.
Did they just go on sale?
They're on sale right now. They're on sale right now.
All right,
which I was gonna ask you if you ordered your tickets yet because they just went on sale like 30 minutes ago.
All right,
but you should. So you should probably do that. But Cineworld was like, I think this happened to Hassan and a lot of other people, where they got charged like $180.
What?
For like tickets, and I don't know if it happened to everyone, but it happened to a lot of people supposedly. And so Cineworld better fucking get on that shit.
That's
refund like create like right now. So do that. But just be careful. It is Spider Monday now. That's the fucking marketing campaign. Keep fucking telling us. Yeah, so you have to.
PM. All right, I'll do that after the podcast because Fandango's not loading right now and stuff.
Oh yeah, is it crashed?
I think it might be
because that might happen. Oh yeah, Brandon David says 28 minutes ago. Can't log in to Fandango, AMC, or Regal for Spider-Man tickets right now. Fandango crashed 29.
Why the shit? Is this really gonna be like this? Is it really gonna?
I think it is. God, all right, fucking damn it.
Maybe I'm not gonna do a video on the day of it coming out. Maybe I'll.
Wait for the weekend or something. It doesn't make sense. That is really fucked.
This is
apparently Fandango, AMC, and Regal have all crashed. Like,
is this? I know they're trying to make the Spider-Man Endgame. Is it really Spider-Man Endgame though?
I don't know.
Does like the general population think of it as Spider-Man Endgame, or do the casuals think of it as Spider-Man movie?
Why are so many? Because with Endgame, it was like I ordered tickets and my roommate ordered tickets, and my roommate wasn't the craziest Marvel fan, but we also had to wake up to order tickets. Why is this happening with Spider-Man? I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe it's also 12 a.m. right? It's almost 12 a.m. right now, so servers usually aren't maintained as well later into the night.
Yeah, that's true.
But they should have been for a premiere like this. But they all crashed, and I don't like seeing people celebrate it. I don't know why, because everyone celebrates it a lot. And it's like
the websites are crashing.
Yeah, that websites are crashing. Hey, so many people. But it's like
I get it. I get like cool. A lot of people are seeing the movie. Also, I mean, we're in a pandemic. That's the first thing that's scaring me. Me. But also just like
with the new shit that went on in New York with the new variant. I forgot what it's called. It sounds like a Spider-Man villain.
Oh, Omicron.
Omicron. Yeah.
I don't know. It was in New York. That's fucking scary. Awesome. Love that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was in New York just yet. I thought it was just in South Africa.
I think they said state of emergency in New York for it, so I'm not sure.
It's fucked up. Love to hear it.
But it's weird to see people celebrate it. I don't know why. There's something weird about it.
Maybe I'll drive like 2 hours and go to some like rural theater
place. That's my thing here is because
city. Because I don't want to say what city I live in. Or what city? What city I live at home in? I'll say eventually it'll come up that I live here. But you know.
Yeah, but I don't know. My theater is. I think tickets are kind of gonna be booked. I'm gonna at least see it on Friday. I don't know if I'm gonna see it on Thursday.
Yeah.
But I don't have IMAX here, and it's not crazy here, so I think I should be able to just get a ticket. If nothing happens, I'm just gonna go and I have this fucking free AMC ticket thing that I'm trying to use. Okay. But then it's like you have to use it on the day. I can't like redeem it for anything.
Yeah,
so it's not like I can book tickets.
Yeah, you might want to.
But I'll figure something out, or if anything, I'll just go fucking see it like a normal person. But yeah, get your Spider-Man No Way Home tickets if you can. And if
I'm
you
gonna try. I think I might
just be off Twitter.
Because my plan was to buy 3 tickets. My plan
was
to,
be hard.
To space it out. Maybe
that's gonna be hard.
All right, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess because the new plan is I'm not gonna be living with Olivia when the movie comes out. Like we're gonna go back home. She's gonna be back home. I'm gonna be back home. So I'll go. I'll be as safe as I possibly can. Obviously, I won't have COVID because I can't. I'm not getting COVID, but I will get tested immediately after seeing the movie before I see her again.
Do that.
Yeah.
That's my fear too because I feel safer because like no one
it's in the
really
holidays
is here,
Too. That's the worse.
Thing. If this was coming out
if this was this because it's 2 weeks till you get COVID symptoms.
Yeah,
it's a less than a week. It's a week before Christmas.
Yeah,
you know, like I'm not blaming the movie or anything. I'm not like it's not the movie's fault. It's just coming at a time. But it's like there's a point where it's like, but really, there's a lot of people that are going to get COVID because of this movie, and a lot of people's grandparents might get really sick.
Yeah,
that's the worst part.
What does that mean? And it's like I don't know. It's
and
then seeing people
Twitter are really
gonna
kill a bunch of people.
Boy,
that's what it would do it.
I don't want to make that the thumbnail.
No, please don't. I don't want. Can we not have Spider-Man on the thumbnail for this one? I kind of want.
I'm not gonna make Spider-Man. I'm gonna make fucking.
To do like pitching a Spider-Man show or something.
That's what I was gonna think. I was gonna put Peter and Miles in the
thumbnail. Yeah, that'd be fun. And put like that'd be fun.
But yeah. All right, questions.
Questions that I am not gonna access because I deleted Twitter completely and blocked.
I have them. I have 7 questions.
So I didn't just delete the app. I made it so that my computer and my phone, if I even go to twitter.com, it'll be like, are you fucking sure?
Yeah.
Like, and most of the time I'll be like, okay, give me like 10 minutes and I'll just check DMs and I'll head out.
Yeah. Yep.
But like, and then once you click the are you sure and like the 10 minutes are up, it does not let you on the app.
That's actually pretty smart.
I mean, I
know that's what some people do with like screen time usage.
It's the same. It's the same. It's the same way. Yeah. They've managed to make it work for websites, which is nice.
That's actually really smart.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, we got a bunch of questions.
Just want DMs. That's all I want. I just want DMs.
That's just a thing for DMs. Yeah.
Yeah.
CJ asks us, when do I get to be a guest in the podcast?
When you're not in Australia, bitch. Get in a time zone that works for us.
Get fucked. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, we'd be down.
Yeah.
I'd be down.
Down as hell.
To fucking shit on you and
ratio you, make fun of you for making a response video.
We're just actively gonna ratio you on the podcast. Confronting my biggest hater. That's what you're gonna do. Podcast title. Waffles for Lunch asked, with the new chapter of Fortnite looming closer, what is one thing you'd like to see added or changed? And if you could have one DC Fortnite animated project of your choice created, what would it be?
DC animated, I obviously, like you'd think I'd say Green Arrow. I would say either a Wally show or a fucking Blue Beetle show. Blue Beetle is a character that is so underutilized that it's ridiculous. He's a great fucking. Sorry, my brain just instantly said Blue Beetle because it's like I love that character and like Young Justice, cool. They
made him
Brave and the Bold, cool
guy.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. That was the whole thing.
Yeah, Blue Beetle's a great character. Jaime Reyes, it's fucking awesome. He's absolutely not utilized enough. And like, the Rebirth run where it was like Ted Kord was like training him, like the old Blue Beetle, but like didn't have the scarab, so he's like a different person. Like it was a totally different superhero. It was like training him how to be. It's awesome, so much fun. Yeah, I'd want a show like that.
I have a pitch for a DC project, and it honestly might work well as an animated thing. Of all I'm going to say, it's the Question, it's the JSA, and it's horror.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
At the third act. It's like, it starts off as a neo-noir thing. It goes into kind of like more mystery, a little bit more action stuff, and then it ends as a horror, is my pitch for it. That's all I will say. And the JSA is involved. They are kind of the bad guys. It's like the Question kind of versus the JSA. And I feel like it would work really well as like an anime.
I'm not going to say it.
What?
You know what had the JSA as the bad guys for an episode? Smallville. Smallville had the JSA as bad guys as like kind of antagonists for a little bit.
Yeah. I'll just rip off Smallville, honestly.
I have an idea for a video. I'm just going to say a title. I'm just going to say the title of the video, and I want your opinion. Seinfeld is the best Superman show.
And with that, we end.
I'll talk to you about it after the podcast. I genuinely think that there's like a really good video.
I want to hear about this. Because I want to hear. This is an April Fool's thing, or this is like a serious.
No, like legit. Video? I genuinely think that a Superman show about nothing is a perfect way to do a Superman show.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, kind of. I can see that. Yeah.
What else?
And then the Fortnite thing.
Oh yeah. Wait. So what do we want to see from the next chapter?
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked how this season was like spooky at the start, but then it kind of got like not spooky.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I still haven't fucking grinded to level 70 yet. I need to do that so I get those.
Yeah, I'm not. I was planning on getting the Carnage skin. It's just not happening. What was?
I want to see.
Yeah. What do you think? I'll think about it.
It'd be nice to see Bo's back. That's one.
Yes, please.
And I would like to see more elevation in the map. Like buildings and shit. Like I want like towers and stuff. I want more elevation, and maybe that'll make my potato computer lag more. But I want more.
It'd be cool to like. I know like we were kind of making fun of it when we played Team Rumble, but I kind of like the idea of just like make it so you can whip out your fucking glider at any time. Yeah, that'd be kind of like, and so like with that elevation, there would be much maybe climbing. That'd be a fun
climb.
thing.
That would be cool.
Like Breath of the Wild style climbing. You have a stamina meter that just goes down, and you like, you know, maybe you can get, or like,
because I want to use when I played Fortnite back when they did the Gotham shit, the grapple gun, right, which worked just like the plumber thing, the fucking plumber shooter thing. You could use that because Tilted Towers had buildings everywhere, you know, like tall buildings.
Yeah, now it's all like,
but like now I use the fucking plunger gun is good. But like I can only use it in very certain areas. You use it
to like get closer to people, but that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, or like escape something really quickly. That's it. And it's like I want to be able to use that more, and I feel like I want more buildings.
What if it's like future? What if it's like super futury? Like
that would be cool.
Oh wait, I never talked about it on the did I talk about like my VR Spider-Man games on the podcast?
You might have mentioned it to me briefly. I don't know if you talked about it.
There's this one. So VR Chat has one that's like, okay, it's got decent swing physics and it's like decent enough and it's free and it's on Quest, so I like it.
It's the thing that like Zach played once on stream. It's like you can play the different Spider-Man suits and like different
that's the Far From Home one. That's the Far From Home one. Okay. Wait, what are you talking about?
This is different. This is something that it was Zach playing it or someone else was playing it.
I think someone else was playing. Zach has a PSVR, so he doesn't have VR chat on.
Or I think it was someone else in our Discord. I forgot who it was. JML or someone like it was someone from the broadcast from the I think so. But he was showing us the Spider-Man outfits and like
is it like you can play like as comics and you can pick a bunch of like hundreds.
Yeah.
That's the VR Chat one, and you have like the Super Sentai one, and you have Gwen and you have Miles. You have like 100. It's really fucking really cool. They have a Spider-Man 2099 map, which is infinitely.
That's what
better
he was showing
than the standard one. Infinitely better on every level because the buildings are fucking gigantic. What if it's just a big giant 2099 city? Like they get rid of grass. They got rid of trees, and so like it's like all chrome, like that episode of SpongeBob.
Yeah,
you know, I
could see that.
Like the opposite of
that'd
Primal.
be a very new tone for it, because you have to realize this will have to keep them alive for at least the next like year and a half,
probably,
right? Because they only get to do seasons.
Oh, that's right, chapters, not season. Yeah,
it's chapters. Yeah, no, but like that is a big change that they would do in a chapter.
Like
I feel like what they would do is,
you know, and so
because they're gonna do something probably crazy enough, you know, but like was there a big leap from chapter 1 to 2?
I didn't play crazy. I didn't play back then, so I don't know.
I didn't play back then either. I just know that not a lot
I'm gonna assume like maybe the addition of NPCs was a big thing, but I don't know. That might be
but
maybe
there needs to be
like
a big change, something big.
What could they, not just like map stuff, like gameplay wise, what could they change to like make this less of a battle royale and like maybe like story quests? Maybe like, and they have that, but like cool. like cuts, not cutscenes because it's a battle royale still. I guess they kind of. I did like the idea.
Like the Batman comic was good. I liked the Batman comic for the most part.
Yeah.
The ending sucks because we see the Batman who laughs, who's the Batman who laughs, and he's more powerful than the Batman because he laughs.
Yes.
I'm obligated to say that every time we mention that character.
Every time.
But I think the idea of like make it like kind of self-aware that you do die every time, so then the story quests are like stories of like okay because it's kind of like Edge of Tomorrow where it's like every time you die it's kind of a loop of I think that'd be interesting. Lean into that, make it interesting.
I'm trying,
but also no one plays Fortnite for the story, so who fucking knows.
That's true. But it's like I'm trying to think like, because the addition of NPCs and quests totally is the reason I'm into Fortnite. It's the only reason I started playing, because it's like I was not into the battle royale aspect. Because if I was, I'd just be playing Apex. So it's like, but they already have vehicles. It's basically an open world game already. Maybe making it more, maybe like a fully
planes. Add planes back.
Add planes back. But I'm thinking of like fully new things that are like completely new. Maybe like populated cities, like not enemies, but it's like make it like Skyrim,
like a lot of
like a shop and a blacksmith and like a And
if you like shoot that'd be cool, because like imagine you have to fight someone and like it's a city full of NPCs,
hit a fucking civilian,
and then they all fucking turn on you. That'd be cool.
I don't know. I feel like I think that is, but not like big super strong AI like NPCs.
Yeah, just like
crazy
people
loot.
Who like have
just like people that have the same health
pistol.
as like a regular person, you know, or like even maybe less health, and they're just like civilians, and it's like making. I'm just trying to think like making it more of an open, or maybe random events. Or something like that, more similar to like like Breath of the Wild or like Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
something along those lines, I think, to push it from, because that's the real direction the game needs to be going in, moving from battle royale shoot 'em up to full-fledged
open world
game
with battle royale.
Yeah, open world where you can get shot at any moment by a 12-year-old.
That I wonder if that will make games longer, but Fortnite in general has longer games.
That's pretty long. Yeah. It's like Fortnite is like a bite-sized open world game, which is that's why I like it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a good question. Actually, I don't know because I wasn't there between 1 and 2, so I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Next question. Brian, is it hard to be the sexiest podcast host that I've ever created their pods? True, but we're nothing without our sexy guest, Brian McDermott.
Exactly. Which I heard, Brian, I heard from a fucking little birdie that somebody got rid of their mustache.
This is fucking too.
Bullshit. We had a pact.
First of all,
Jerry.
First of all, Brian, you did this before the end of November. And the whole idea was that we don't do this because it's still November.
We were mustache men.
I fucking hate this, but I keep it because it's not November yet, Brian. You bitch. Anyways, Stan Kern Walters, I guess.
Stan Kern Walters.
Starlisle, Taylor's version, asks us, which I haven't listened to a lot of.
I haven't seen the short film. I don't want to ruin my opinion of Jake Gyllenhaal. So I'm not going to.
Yeah, you're not going to. Yeah, that makes sense. If you were tasked with making a Venom-esque Sonyverse solo film for a Spidey villain side character, who would it be and what would you do? No Spider-Man of any kind can. Big Will.
Wait, we didn't talk about the news of fucking Sandman and Rhino are getting a solo movie, each of them.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't even think that was real.
That's probably not going to happen. Maybe it's going to get canceled. But why the fuck a solo movie? That makes sense. My tweet got a lot of likes.
I want the Aunt May spy movie. Give me the Aunt May spy movie. Give me that script as a challenge, and I will make it a film. It's like
there is a way. There is actually a way you could tell.
But you can't mention Peter. You can't mention Peter at all. You cannot. Can you mention Aunt May. You can mention Ben
because now I'm thinking. Now I'm imagining Marissa Tomei as Pete Davidson's mother from King of Staten Island, aka the best Aunt May. I'm going to say that. The best Aunt May. She's the best.
Yeah.
Grieving New York widow. Forced to be a spy. And it's like a comedy, like a Red Notice.
It has to take place after Peter is Spider-Man, but you still don't reference Peter as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's like...
And she's like, oh, those eyes! Those horrible yellow eyes! And then she pulls out a fucking Glock,
But she can still mention Pete instead of Peter, just because it's Pete Davidson.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
I
meant that as my non-serious answer, but like also maybe my serious answer because it'd be fun. You know, why not?
I mean, so I'm assuming they mean any Spider-Man. I'm in a Miles mood. Did I show you? Wait, did I show you the Squishmallow I got? I got a Miles Morales Squishmallow.
That's cool.
He's very cute. We randomly found him in a Walgreens, and we didn't expect to see him because they're like kind of we haven't been able to find him, but like we were like cool.
Stan Walgreens, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know. But like I'm in a Miles mood.
You can't. It's a no Spider-Man of any kind. So
okay.
But yeah.
So Spider Gwen then Spider Woman.
No,
trick you.
That doesn't count. Fuck you.
I'm trying to think like. What's like?
I say Amadeus Cho counts because he was Spider. I still Web Warriors are so fucking weird.
Web Warriors was weird.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that's not like a villain.
Because he eventually still became the Hulk like later on, which was strange. But hey,
yeah, a lot of people didn't like that. I never read it, but a lot of people like hated that run.
It was weird.
I don't know. But I'm trying. Like, I guess maybe like it'd be interesting to do like Fuck, I don't even know. A J. Jonah Jameson movie would be fun, you know. Like, but I guess like no referencing Spider-Man at all, because it could be interesting to see a movie about why he hates him so much. You know,
it could be. It said no Spider-Man can appear in the movie, so maybe you can reference him.
That's a little. It would be pushing it for a J. Jonah thing.
I feel like what if you do like one of those like Oscar bait movies about a press story, but it's Jameson.
That'd be fun, actually. Yeah, and then surprise reveal is like like about is the ending scene is when Spider-Man first appears or something. Because you could do a Cruella and Jameson be like, my father was killed by a man in a mask. Which they kind of did in the comics. The comics had his wife killed by a guy in a mask, and that like it's really? Like it's cool and like it was a good scene. I think it was the Zdarsky run. Or no, it was Spidey.
But it's kind of funny in context, I guess, right?
It was serious in context, and it's like, okay, this works. It's working. But then you think about it, it's like, that did it? Like, that's like everybody in a What do you think about Halloween now? Is that your problem? So, but I don't know. A Jameson movie could be fun. Yeah, I think the Oscar bait, like, that could be fun.
Yeah. I think that'd be interesting. Yeah. But yeah, thank you for the check-in, Starlisle.
Thank you for the
the check-in. Lucas Fiscus asks, if you had to physically fight a version of Spider-Man, which would it be? Also, when do you think Marvel's going to introduce Spider-Man 4 Sins Past?
Oh no!
Should we just ignore that last part?
Somebody said that my one of my purple spots in my No Way Home bingo card, the crazy wild card things, based on leaks that, I mean, who fucking knows about leaks? But like, they said that it was going to happen, and they knew it was going to happen for sure, and they didn't want to tell me what. Oh. And now I'm like, is it Mephisto? Because it's definitely not Miles. They don't say they definitely don't let Spider-Man say fuck. That's for sure. Like, what else do maybe
Tom Holland let it slip in that Tom Holland let it slip in that in that interview where he's like, maybe they'll do a Miles Morales show, and like, actually they might do a Miles Morales thing.
Maybe this is Miles Morales, yeah.
Or maybe he just says fuck. That would be kind of fun. If maybe he doesn't say fuck, but he says uck.
That would be really funny, actually. Yeah. In this realm of like every character, every fucking piece of media, every news, like every casting, every single thing we know about because of news in the media cycle. If they somehow manage to cast Miles Morales and film something with him for release in 2 weeks, and
not reveal it at all,
not get leaked at all. Holy shit! I mean, they did
it with Ezra, right? But did the Ezra thing get leaked? I don't think pictures got leaked, but like maybe some people kind of knew, right?
With what? With Star Wars?
With the Flash.
Oh, with the Flash. I don't know.
That's smaller scope. That.
So. That's a smaller scope. It was just but it's like a big Marvel. Like with all the MCU credit scenes, it's always like, oh, I remember when they announced that. I remember when they announced this movie was coming, or when they announced that this guy was cast, or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
Like the biggest surprise was fucking the Eternals one. With Jon Snow, because it's like, oh, I didn't realize he was actually a character, but that's just because I didn't know the character from the comics.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think they'll.
But yeah, I think the purple thing's Mephisto, and so they are going to do Sins Past. That's my theory.
That's going to be
What was the question, by the way? What was the real question? I forgot.
The real question.
Oh, who can we fist fight?
If you had to physically fight, physically fight a version of Spider-Man.
Does it have to be in the movies?
Any version.
Okay. Japanese Spider-Man, get that fucking wrist bracelet off of him as soon as you can. Don't let him transform into the big robot, and you're good. I'm sorry. I know he's the mercenary of the emissary of death. You could take him.
Yeah.
We could take him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of how I would.
Because Tom is hella strong.
You show any of them.
Toby is hell.
You show any of them a pack of Uncle Ben Rice and they're dead.
True.
That's a terrible joke.
Oh no! No! Fist fight 90s animated Spider-Man because he can't throw a punch.
Oh yeah,
he's legally obligated to not punch anybody.
He can only like push them.
Or kick them or web them up.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of which is like in that show. I can't remember.
Maybe because he swings, right? So he like swing kicks people, I guess.
I don't know. I'm gonna eventually do a commentary on that, and we'll see. Didn't grow up with that show. I think I grew up with
stiff.
Yeah,
that I would
just erase
move around him real quick.
Actually, any animated Spider-Man because they're not fucking real. Any version of Spider-Man because they're not fucking real. I can beat up a drawing as much as I want to.
I could just say they're not canon anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Calm
down.
Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. All I need to do is hold his girlfriend off a fucking clock tower, and that's all. And that's it.
My favorite thing is I love the meme going around of people re-editing that like fan thing.
Yeah.
Of like I'll take care of Goblin. You get the girl. No, the girl's my responsibility. Because firstly, she's dead by that point. She's dead.
I know. That's what I said. That's exactly what I said.
It's funny. But then the one that was like. The one that was like, I'll take care of Gabi. You get the girl. LOL cringe. I just shit my pants. That was the funniest fucking one. That's the favorite picture I've ever seen. I hope that happens in the movie.
God. That's what it is. Instead of saying fuck, he says shit my pants. Why does it make me laugh so much? God. All right.
So animated ones, so we can just erase it. I'll beat up a drawing anytime.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Take that, Mauricio.
I'm trying to think of what other versions of Spider-Man there are. The MTV one, because he's too much of a fucking sob story, he'll break down emotionally himself.
The Nicholas Hammond one, and then the Morgan Freeman
do anything.
Fucking electric company one. You can beat the shit out of that guy.
Yeah. Andrew Garfield, but he's the one from the Jimmy Kimmel one where he's like asking people for pictures and then he gets the money and he's like, yes. That version of Spider-Man. Only that one.
Yeah, so true.
That's
the real Spider-Man. That's question. The real working class hero we need.
Yeah, exactly. Yash Kapoor has Bickus Dickus, and I'll just say, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. Respectable.
I disagree. And that's why I think you're a piece of shit.
No, I think he's a piece of shit for it. Yeah. I think it's offensive that you even ask us that question.
Yeah, I think it's offensive that you don't have the exact same viewpoint.
It's a statement on the patriarchy. Yep.
So true.
And the last question, and I saved it because it's Cole and we love him. He asked, if you could make a video game about an obscure DC character and an obscure Marvel character, what characters do you choose?
Bloodborne. That's the answer that Cole wants to hear.
Bloodborne? Yeah, that's what he wants to hear.
Just say Bloodborne and he'll
Bloodborne
go, yeah!
and Elden Ring. Yeah.
I mean, Green Arrow's not obscure, but like I always wanted a Green Arrow game. I would really like a Black Canary Green Arrow team up game or something.
Would you like a Black Canary Green Arrow Last of Us game?
When I was playing God of War. God of War has a button specifically for Atreus where he just shoots an arrow. What if that's just you play as Black Canary and then you just have Oliver shoot an arrow?
Have a Green Arrow
and you can do trick arrows and stuff. He's an assist, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think you could do something interesting with that, but like they're not obscure, so it's like I can't really say that.
Yeah.
There's this really obscure guy named Spider-Man, which would be really cool. We should
Big Wheel, but it's a racing game. Big Wheel, but it's a racing game.
That'd be really
he has
fun,
to race all the other big wheels.
I had a weird dream one day. This is super unrelated. I just started thinking about this.
Okay.
Was it a dream? Yeah, I was playing Slender Man, the Slender game, but I was in a car. Like I was driving,
kind of more,
and then he was in a car behind me, chasing me.
So it's like GTA Slenderman.
Yeah, it was like I had to race away from him.
It's Fortnite Slenderman.
Yeah, so it's that, but it's like your big wheel, and Spider-Man is on the stupid fucking spider buggy behind you, and you have to run.
Oh god, yeah, that'd be kind of funny. The spider buggy is like this weird.
It's like the Black Flash. You have to run away from him.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Obscure DC character. Condiment King cooking game.
That'd be fun. That'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be a banger.
Yeah.
I'm looking around my fucking room. The Atom fucking like a biology teaching game. One of those point and click adventure educational games.
Hi, I'm Ray Palmer, and today I'm going to teach you AP chemistry. Yeah. You know my
Can
AP
I also just say,
teacher?
can I fucking just say, speaking of the Atom as a character, stop calling him Atom. He is the Atom.
Atom. Atom. Don't call him Atom.
Injustice calls him Atom. Just Atom.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck? There's a the. It's so stupid.
It gives
I think every character needs a the in front of it. I think every character, the Batman, the Superman, the Wonder Woman, the Spider-Man, the Green Arrow, the Daredevil. Like it's so much more fun, isn't it? I love it.
Yeah.
I need it in everything.
I'm trying to think of one where it's not appropriate.
The Invincible, probably not. Yeah, maybe not.
The Invincible. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Anything that ends with man or like an adjective and a noun, throw a the on there. It's great.
Yeah.
The question probably doesn't work.
Will be a movie. If they did the Superman,
I know it's like kind of a joke. I think that'd be really cool. Yeah. I would be really into that if that's what they call.
Because it's like the idea of like he's the Superman. It kind of or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
distance a character from like Clark Kent. Because that's the idea. Is it makes when you put the in front of the name, it makes them sound so much more superficial.
And also it implies like earlier in their career too. Like it's like you know, it's like they first showed up. It's the Superman. You know.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that makes sense.
Grab my back.
Condom making cooking game. Big Whale, Subway Surfers.
Yeah, that's totally great.
Those are my 2 pitches.
Hang on, I got a couple Patreon ones actually in the Discord, and then I think we had one on the email that I need to check.
Do it.
Best original movie of the year so far that isn't a reboot, sequel, or adaptation of a source material. You go first because I have to think about this.
I have to think about this. I was gonna say Dune is an adaptation.
Dune is an adaptation. Tick Tick Boom is an adaptation of a show.
What came out this year? Watching adaptation. I'm trying to think of. I'm gonna look up movies.
Movies from 2021.
It's
also what I'm doing.
Because
it's hard because like I haven't seen that many movies, so I'm just like.
Yeah, same here.
I didn't see The Last Duel. I didn't see French.
Red Notice.
Oh no! Is Free Guy the only one?
Imagine if it is.
I still need to watch French Dispatch and Last Night in Soho. I've been dying to watch those.
Yeah. Army of the Dead. I did not like Army of the Dead though.
I still haven't seen it.
They asked a good question, I guess. Technically,
that's a very good question. I'm gonna
Tomorrow War. I'd say maybe Green Knight default, but also I didn't love Green Knight, to be honest.
An Arthurian legend. That's not really like
that doesn't fucking count. Shut the fuck up. That doesn't count.
The whole point is that it's a famous legend. What are you talking about? That's the whole movie.
Okay, maybe it does. The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Now that movie was
a sequel, right?
All of the original stuff I saw kind of just sucked,
or just didn't come out yet.
Adaptation's good. Yeah, I want to watch Reminiscence.
I'm gonna assume. I haven't seen them yet, but I'm gonna assume either French Dispatch or Last Night in Soho. Haven't seen them?
Luca, Pixar movie. Luca. Yeah,
that was this year.
That might be my pick.
Was that this year for real?
Yeah.
What?
That was earlier this year.
Luca was great. I love Luca. Gay movie, Luca.
Yeah. I love
anybody that says it's not gay. I'm sorry. Anybody that says it's not gay is a fucking idiot. Yeah, it's the most gay movie in the world.
It's at least bi. I think. It's at least bi.
Well, it's like they may not be gay, but it's very clearly an allegory. Like it is the most overt allegory I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
You know, and then we had an email question that I'm going to pull up, and I'm going to be talking at this moment to try and fill in some of the space because I did forget to pull up the Gmail. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at fanboytalk@gmail.com, or if you want to talk shit, feel free to tell us. Twitter. You know,
do it on the Twitter because we won't pay attention to it. It'd be funny if Red Notice defaults to be my favorite original.
That'd be really fucking funny. That'd be.
I am the only person who liked that movie. I straight up am the only person who liked that movie, and I find that intriguing. Yeah.
This question is from Brilkson. We have 2 questions from him, so we might as well answer them both. With the possibility of W Games Interactive selling, do you think that possible outcome will never set up Injustice 3, thus Tom Taylor will not write the tie-in comic, or the rumors of an NRS versus Marvel versus DC fighting game? Have I talked about the Marvel versus DC thing on the podcast?
We talked about it briefly about how it's probably going to happen, right?
I 100% think it's happening. It's absolutely Maximilian Dude, who is a great fighting game content creator. I love him. He did a whole video talking about NetherRealm's next thing, and they have like really 3 options, or 4 options, I guess. It's either another Mortal Kombat, which I don't think they're doing, because MK11 like kind of was like, whoa, big Mortal Kombat. Like they supported it for a while. I think they're moving on. So it's either Injustice 3, and it's just Injustice 3, which like fine, I would love
Disney
it.
Disney has to let them use the IP though, right? That's the idea. Is if they do Injustice versus Marvel.
Yeah.
Wait, that's what I was thinking. And if NetherRealm does it, would it be Injustice DC characters?
I don't know. I think
Marvel,
it would be.
They would make an Injustice 3.
I think the only it's hard to say. I don't think Injustice 3 is going to be DC versus Marvel. I think Injustice 3 is going to be a different thing. I think Ed Boon knows, like, this is DC versus Marvel. This is a big thing. We can't have evil Superman here. We can't have dead Nightwing. Yeah. We need, like, we need the big boys to be at their peaks. You know? I feel
like if they do a DC versus Marvel game, it would... And I guess NetherRealm doesn't make, like, Smash games. But I feel like a Smash DC versus Marvel game would do so much better than another
maybe.
DC versus Marvel game.
Because
you want to make it more of a party game, right?
You saw that we talked about the WB.
Yeah, I did. It looked interesting.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Ultimate Shaggy.
I mean, I love Smash. It is not the fighting game I need it to be, though. I'm a competitive
but I
guy.
know it will sell better if a Smash type DC versus Marvel game will sell better than a
I think any DC versus Marvel game is gonna sell like crazy.
It's gonna sell
like fucking hotcakes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe more people will buy it if it's a Smash game, but I just can't picture like 4 people on a battlefield of Spider-Man, Batman, Wolverine, and Superman. You know?
Yeah.
Like that. Just like thinking of that, it's like these characters are.
You want the 2v2? Yeah.
Like the one. What do I say? Like fucking. How do I say this? Smash's style doesn't really make people feel powerful. You know, they feel powerful for Smash. Like Ike feels super strong for Smash, but like compared to Injustice, even, which is a pretty low like power level feeling thing aside from the crazy animations and super moves, like they don't feel that big, powerful, strong. People just go flying and like it feels very floaty. I think a Marvel vs. Capcom style like tag team thing would do well. Like that's what I would want, really personally. Like a Marvel vs. DC. Not Injustice, but still have the same mechanics of Injustice. I think Injustice, this is a whole video, but Injustice has a whole bunch of stuff with like, the fucking map needs to be smaller. There needs to be less emphasis on zoning. They need to fucking like have a better meter system and like a bunch of different things, like mechanically speaking. But from like a general standpoint, I think that would be better than Smash style personally, but may not sell.
Fanboy pre-writes Injustice 3.
That's what I've been working on. That's one of them. There's a script in there.
I'm
working with Chimera on that, I think. So that would be fun. But no, I think Injustice is at the with NetherRealm is like a big enough studio that it's like they're gonna continue Injustice. It may not be the only DC games, which would be really nice. I think they need to move on from DC shit, like do more DC shit. Yeah. But like I think the Marvel versus DC. So it's either Injustice 3, it's either Mortal Kombat 12, it's either a straight Marvel game because maybe they're trying to build up to it. Or it's just Marvel vs. DC. And I'm just thinking, like, says NetherRealm is a WB game. WB owns NetherRealm, or a WB studio. Would WB be like, yeah, let's just make a Marvel game? And instead not be like, let's fucking put them together. Let's make our money too, you know? So I don't know. It's a weird thing. I would really like to see a Marvel vs. DC game, though. The only concern I'd have with it is that they'd cut my favorite characters. You know, imagine it's Marvel versus DC, and then it's just like the Justice League, the Joker, Harley Quinn.
Like, I think you got to match it up. So if you have to do Green Arrow and you have to do Hawkeye, you know,
then it's like you have 2 archers, and it's like how different are they going to be? So maybe Hawkeye should just be a Green Arrow skin. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Or maybe because I had an idea of like going back to MKX's what do they call them? Fuck. Oh shit! What do they call them?
You want gear stuff?
No, it was before gear. It was variations. You like you pick a character and then there are 3 different styles for that character.
Oh,
you know? Yeah. I had an idea of like, what if you're the next Injustice? You pick Flash and you have the option of Jay, Barry, and Reverse Flash. You know, because they're each completely different people.
One's more aggressive than the other. Yeah,
one's like one does like horrific things, and one breaks legs, and the other one just like goes, "Ha, I'm the Flash," and just like punches. You know,
that's what he says. He says,
I'm the Flash.
I'm a dad.
Yeah. And I think that maybe you could do something like that with Marvel vs. DC. So it's like Black Canary.
What if you could do that with Batman characters too?
Yeah,
where it's like Batman, Nightwing, and someone else. There's
more
variety there, but they are just vigilantes, you know?
Yeah.
One uses guns, one uses eskrima sticks, and one uses batarangs.
Yeah, so. or I don't even like it was Superman. You have Superman, and then you like click it, and then you have the option of Superman, fucking maybe like Icarus or some other Superman Marvel type character, and then Omni-Man. You know, throwing image stuff. Like each character in there is like, I don't fucking know.
That's a big scope for like a fighting game.
I don't know. And so they'd have the same moveset, but just different special moves.
Exactly.
You know, I don't know.
Makes sense.
There's something there. I just hope they don't do the save thing. You know, I hope they do something like different and big. Because I love Injustice 2. I really fucking love it. I have like 300 hours on that game.
It's got a great story. It's got
an okay story. But I love it for what it is. I constantly play it. Just because it's like Black Canary that's the best Black Canary. I just hope they do something like new with it. And then I guess this could be our last question. The other question, also from Brookson on the email, is have you heard the news of a new Marvel game with Amy Hennig of Uncharted with Amy Hennig from Uncharted, and that's what she worked on Uncharted.
I did hear. I did hear about this.
Unknown developer Skydance New Media. Is there a possibility of it being a Fantastic Four game?
We're saying Daredevil potentially.
I could see a Daredevil game.
Yeah,
because if it's a Daredevil game, I need it to be. I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna talk about it when I make this Flash video. Eventually, I have so many videos planned. When I eventually make this Flash game pitch video, if they make a Daredevil game and it's like Spider-Man, or if it's like Batman Arkham, with the combat of just like very simple mechanics, like whatever, and it doesn't really do anything interesting with like the gameplay. I'm just gonna be like, really? If it's an open world Daredevil game, really? You should the Daredevil game should be a linear Last of Us style, like that game Sifu.
We need more games like that.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
that you can,
and like instead of these big open worlds with like 100 things to do and stuff. But I guess that's the game industry. And Zach was mad at us for not bringing him in when we talked about the game industry. Sorry, Zach. But the game industry is always constantly trying to sell 100-hour games, 100-hour experience, to justify their $70 price tag. When like in reality, I think like this new game Sifu. Have you seen anything about this? It's coming out in February. No. It's like it's like a martial arts game, and like every time you die, you get older, and that's how you level up. You have to die, and you have to age and stuff. And it's like got this like very crazy way of doing combat, and like this really interesting camera style, and it feels super real. Like that's how Daredevil has to be. It has to be like fully like counters, but not just like press a button to counter.
Game. Yeah.
You need to like maybe like there's like maybe every button is a counter. You don't punch, you don't strike. Maybe you have one punch.
Fully counter. That's actually really, really cool because then you can still feel immobilized.
You have to counter a kick and a punch and a throw. And so it's it's a reaction based thing.
It could, if done well, it could be really good. If done wrong, it could be frustrating as fuck.
Yeah, I think or like combat more like Ghost of Tsushima was very counter based, and you had this really fucking cool. Maybe like it's a linear thing, but you have to like raid like a hideout for something to save some people, and there's like 100 like I don't know a whatever amount of goons or whatever there, and an opportunity would be like you announce yourself. Because have you played Ghost of Tsushima?
No, but I've seen some cutscenes. Like there's
a mechanic in there where it's like you can raid these like I'm very exhausted, so I can't think of the word. Like areas with a bunch of enemies that that are fenced off, and it's like they're bases. They're base. I'm very dumb. And an option is you announce yourself. You're like, hey, I'm fucking here. Come fucking fight me, losers, cowards. Because it's like samurai game, and you can be like honorable. And then it goes into this crazy standoff where like it goes into like slow-mo, these crazy camera moves. You have to hold a button and let go at the exact right frame, and you slice the people in half. It's like the most satisfying thing in the world. Imagine you do that in a Daredevil game, and it goes black. You go blind,
and you have to counter at the same.
Not necessarily by sound or anything, but like for like a second, there's like you have to pulse at the right time, or like not for the whole game because that'd be frustrating. But like as a kick is like you somebody's coming and you're waiting for them to counter, and it goes all dark, and then you have to pulse at the right moment and see them, and then you counter or something like that. I don't know. I feel like.
Yeah,
there's a really great couple pages and I think it's the Zdarsky run of Daredevil, or is it the Soul run? I can't remember. Where it's like it shows a story of Matt on one page, and he's like on a rooftop, he sees somebody, and there's like you hear some things, and it's basically like the perspective of us if we were Matt, like what we would hear and what we would see, and we get like 2% of the story, right? And then it on the other page is like if we were Matt and we see it from his perspective with like the sound waves and like the echolocation and everything, and like the visuals of it are really cool. And you see like a whole phone conversation talking about like abusing a girl, and like so it's really hard to explain. Basically, it's really fucking awesome. It's super fucking great. And like so he hears the phone conversation that we didn't hear. But you also hear like all these other things that are like muddying up the whole frame,
the frequency.
Yeah, and it's like so you have to focus in on what is important too, and then it shows like all the things, and it shows like through walls what Matt sees where otherwise we didn't see anything. It's really fucking cool. I think a game from that kind of perspective would be really interesting, not in just like a detective mode thing, but in like you go into like your sense mode. And you're overwhelmed and you have to figure it out. But if you don't do that, you can't move on. That'd be cool. But I don't know how accessible that would be. That's the other thing. How do you make a game like that accessible to people with like hearing disabilities? Right, because it's like this is a big Marvel game. It has to sell well.
Yeah.
So that would almost have to be like an indie game that has like full accessibility options.
This feels like it's not going to be an indie game. This feels like it is going to be like a big Sony game. Last of Us thing.
Yeah.
So,
but
I think there's a place to do. Like if they're going the line of Uncharted and going super story focused, there's a room to do something like that with even like Hawkeye too.
Oh yeah,
like
Hawkeye
where you go something crazy.
If they made if Marvel made a better Green Arrow game than DC did, I'd be really mad. That's all I'm gonna say. I'd be really mad.
That'd be something. Yeah.
But it's been 3 hours. We should probably wrap this up.
It's been 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got
talking about Spider-Man for 3 hours. Dang.
We talked very less about Spider-Man this episode.
We didn't say a single goddamn thing about No Way Home, part 152.
I talked about the tickets, I guess.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Never mind. God damn it.
The tickets, it doesn't count. There's this one promo where they all yell at each other and they're like, yo! And it's like, okay, cool.
I think I saw that, actually. I saw one of the rest. They keep getting recommended to me, and I don't want anything to do with them.
Yeah. There's too much of it out there.
Too much.
But yeah. I don't have anything else. I think that's good. We tackled a bunch of questions. We tackled a bunch of stuff. But yeah, cool. Thank you all for listening. I guess.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us on Fanboy Talk. We just say goodbye, basically. This has been TroyBoy17 coming at you live, joined by Mithi. I've got the Raimi commentaries coming. I don't know the full schedule of them yet, but the first one is definitely coming on Friday, and that's gonna be a very fun, very long video, but a very positive video. And so if you're an asshole about it, I'm not the problem. I'm just gonna say that. Yeah.
I second that statement completely. I am Mithi. Follow me on Twitter. I changed my @ from 11 eyes at the end to 7 eyes at the end because it was smaller, and I should really get a new @ Someone please give me more. Did you just
manhandle your mic as you were talking about this?
I did. Did it do something weird?
I have no idea. I can't hear it, but like I'm gonna assume the audio listeners are gonna be like, "Whoa."
I did it like this, so I don't know what it did, but maybe it did something.
Well, audio listeners, if that happened, we apologize, and if it didn't, then ignore me.
It is all completely my fault. But yeah, I got a Young Justice video that I'm working on. And if you guys have thoughts on season 3, tell me them because I want inspiration.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of stuck writing the midsection of it. I need ideas for a new Twitter @ that are not just Clout Mithi. So please give me those. And Disarmed, my short film. Trailer's already out. Go check that out.
Hell yeah, it's a great trailer.
That trailer was cool. I like that trailer. It was fun to edit. It was spooky to edit.
Yeah.
Little Alice in Wonderland for you too. And the short film is probably going to come out near Christmas, I want to say. Originally it was coming out earlier, but I'm spending more time on it to kind of finalize more things and keep it a little bit tidier. So, but it's good. It's I think it's my best shot thing yet. So I think people will enjoy it. So. But
I've seen a little bit of it. It looks great. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
But it's not the prick.
Everybody.
It is different than the prick.
It's different from the prick. We promise.
Yeah.
Cool. But thank you everybody for joining us. TroyBoy17 coming live. Thank you everybody. We'll see you around. Bye bye.
Bye bye.